Okay, welcome everyone to our second strategic planning session of this round. And hi Karen, thank you for joining us. And if you have to not join us any longer, feel free. Oh, she doesn't even have her. Never mind. Hey Karen. Thanks for joining us. If you really don't feel up to this, let us know, okay? All right, so I'm not doing anything because I believe I just hand the ball right over to someone who is sitting at the far end. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Bud, for being with us. We appreciate it.
Sure. Yeah, let's just jump right in.
There you go.
Oh, sorry. So hopefully we'll get this done today. Finalize the vision statement, finalize the mission statement, and have that ready for some community feedback. Talk about a community engagement survey, finalize our values and hopefully the definitions. If not, we'll have plan B for that. Look at the broad strategic goals, and I doubt if we get to tactics, but you just never know. So let's go around. Let's just your name one word that you've been reflecting on, describes your reflection from last time. Somebody start. Karen, you want to start us off? She's like, no. It's okay, Karen, you don't have to.
Eric, progress.
Thank you.
Laura, focus.
Sarah, thrive.
David, hopeful.
Emerson, promising.
Emily, people.
Got her value, yeah.
Pam, abundance.
Karen, you got it?
Very committed.
Thank you.
Wow.
That was so good.
Yeah, that's like the voice of God.
I'm gonna turn it just real quick, before we're going, we're
Turn
gonna
it down a
turn
little
down
bit.
just a little bit so we don't blow our eardrums.
It does. It seemed like the voice of God.
Yeah, that was pretty
I like that
impressive.
movie too. Yeah. And look at the notes you have right there from last time. Please take a minute and just breathe through those. We're doing that just to kind of bring your brain back to where you were. Here's what we expected from our sessions. People to participate, have conversations, accomplish something, have collaboration, be representative of the community, have clear steps, clarity, benefit our citizens, direction for staff, positive outcomes, baseline agreement, and lively debate. This is what we expected from us as individuals. Just a few things for Bud and I, and then on the left, what you decide you would expect from each other.
I think we did pretty well last time.
Oh, Christmas cups already. Yes.
I think you did do really well last night. I think there was a nice variety of voices in the room. Nobody monopolized conversation. People were respectful of ideas. Even if you didn't agree, we were respectful of ideas. And you did challenge each other's thinking. We don't want to sit here and always be 100% agreement. That doesn't really get us anywhere.
We aren't, so. We're out there, I think that.
David, you looked right at me when it's.
I think that one thing about this group is that we're respectful of each other's opinions, even if we disagree.
Right, yeah, absolutely, yeah. And I think that's an important thing to do because obviously everybody in the community doesn't always agree.
Yeah.
And so I wouldn't expect a council to be a rubber stamp. This was the work of the subcommittee. Why do we do strategic planning? I think Pam recommended that we come back and ask ourselves at the end, did we create transparency for our community, organize our ideas for the future, create some focus, have an ability to hold the organization accountable for goals and objectives, forward movement, how do we invest time and resources, and does it align with the world as it is today? So in the end, we'll come back and see if we accomplish these things. That makes sense? All right. So a vision statement. This is what a vision statement is supposed to do. Go ahead and just read through that, and I'm gonna pass out a little worksheet for you. Take one and just pass it down.
Thank you.
Wheels on the bus go round and round.
Yeah, I think you were going somewhere else.
So we want to have commitment and energizing people, something people want to be a part of. Something that stretches us forward. Takes us from here to someplace better in the future. We don't want to go someplace worse, someplace better in the future. It should stretch us as an organization. And looking at excellence. So it should be realistic, credible, attractive, and reach toward the future. The subcommittee took your thoughts, and those are on your worksheet, the major areas of thoughts. And so they looked at those and worked on creating a vision statement. And Marie gave a second one that's extremely similar, just the words might flow in a different way. So Emerson, would you read the first one?
Webster Grove strives to be a collaborative regional leader with a diverse, welcoming community of connected neighborhoods where people and business thrive.
Sarah, how about the next one?
Webster Groves strives to be a welcoming and collaborative regional leader with a diverse community and connected neighborhoods where people and businesses.
What are some phrases in there that you're like, I like that part of it?
But
Go ahead. I think putting us within the region is, I like that.
And that was one thing that we talked about as wanting was to be a regional leader. Not just here, but also kind of be the place where people look to. Or hey, they're doing it right in Webster Groves.
I like the terminology connected neighborhoods. And that was really.
Yeah,
positive.
that kind of honors the diversity, but we're still on one. I think somebody used the phrase one Webster maybe. But somebody else used the phrase connected neighborhoods.
and I think all our thoughts are captured in both of those statements.
There's not a big difference
No.
in terms of conceptually. How do you feel about the word thrive? Sarah, that was kind of your word you said this morning.
Yeah, I've been thinking about it a lot, and I like that as a vision, because I think it's a little bit idealistic, but it's kind of the goal, right? Like that's what you
Yeah,
want.
you want to be a little idealistic here. You want, reach toward the ideal.
It also is a good word in that there's flexibility in it. What I think of myself as thriving may be very different from what someone else thinks of, and we both get to define that for ourselves.
Yeah, I like that too. It's like, it's relative. It's not saying that everybody's gonna be exactly the same and live in the same type of house and have the same type of job. It's just like each person in business where they are, it's gonna do the best, be able to do the best. that they can.
Do you think these statements stretch us as a community?
Yes. But I do like the word welcoming in Marie's. I mean, that says a lot. I mean, for us, it's a standard for the community. But then to like the first vision as well. So, but.
Well, they both have welcoming.
Right.
One that took welcoming up front.
Yeah, and I think I like that about it, that it comes like at the beginning, the welcome.
That is really important. So it doesn't get buried in the sentence.
And
It
then,
comes at the beginning of the phrase.
and then we're welcoming. How do we do that? How do we do that to become welcoming? You know, in Webster Groves.
I mean, I think the thrive kind of sets the standard for the type of welcoming we are. It's one thing to say, oh, we welcome everybody, but then to try to attain thriving for everybody goes with it. Because I think you can say one thing and act a different way. So this way, we're kind of holding ourselves accountable.
I think that both the strive and the thrive, like together, those show that we have work to do. Like they don't say that we're doing a terrible job.
That
but,
sets
like,
the stage for
like,
future.
Yeah,
right,
there's room
yeah.
for us to improve.
I like the first statement more from the subcommittee, because I like where welcoming is, because in the second one, it looks like welcoming is describing collaborative or regional leader. And I don't really give a shit if we're a welcoming regional leader. Rather, I want to be collaborative, but I'm much more concerned about the community being welcoming. And
So-
the welcoming defines it.
Can we take a time out? Please remember, this is all being recorded for public consumption.
We could switch the phrases if we wanted to David, and put the communities above regional leader.
Yeah,
Could you just say that so we
Yeah.
know what that
I'm
would
not-
sound like?
Not clear.
Webster grows, strives.
Like you could say like, this is new, I don't have it
That's all right.
already, so like Webster Groves is a diverse community, or is a diverse, welcoming community of connected neighborhoods where people and businesses thrive. As we strive to be a collaborative regional leader, it doesn't really flow as well. But if we wanted to put there's probably a better way to wordsmith it, but if we wanted to put the neighborhoods first, we could. I don't know that we want to, I'm just saying, like, if the emphasis is more on
Clauses.
clause, we could switch the clauses around.
What if we did it like Webster Grove strives to be welcoming, comma, a collaborative regional leader with diverse community connected neighborhoods where people and businesses thrive?
Did you put the word collaborative in there?
You didn't take any words out, you just
Could
put a
be-
comma in.
Well, and she's removing A,
Yeah.
putting it above, we are welcoming and a collaborative leader. Or strive to be a collaborative.
I think there's strength in leaving the collaborative regional leader in the beginning and by itself. Because that's what we want to do, connect with not only with our community, but other communities around us. To be a model city, I guess. For them to mimic.
So what I'm hearing could be said would be Webster Grove strives to be welcoming
Mhm.
and a collaborative regional leader with a diverse community and connected neighborhoods where people and businesses thrive.
That's spot
Just
on.
taking out the word a leaves an emphasis on welcoming, strives to be welcoming.
Mhm.
And a collaborative regional leader with it, so that separates out the concept of welcoming from being a leader, but you don't lose the concepts. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yes.
Can you go out of, just go into edit mode? And maybe just change that. No, yeah, just, yeah, take that out and put a right there. And then, David, you mind reading that for us?
I'm just trying.
Webster Grove strives
Make
to
up the
be
word.
welcoming and a collaborative regional leader with a
Well,
diverse
you did it.
community and connected
That's-
neighborhoods where people and businesses thrive.
Do it one more time for me, Dave.
Yeah,
Webster Grove strives to be welcoming and a collaborative regional leader with a diverse community and connected neighborhoods where people and businesses thrive.
Mhm. I like that. I like that. I like the way that flows because I think it's really important to have the Webster Grove strives to be welcoming because that sounds more genuine to me because it lets you know that that's something that we're working on and that we are aware that we need to continue to work on.
good point. Keeps it a goal as opposed to Webster Groves is a welcoming community.
Yeah, because
That's
we're
kinda
not always.
saying
Yeah.
You asked about how that sounds, and just from my
Mhm.
perspective, there's I really do like what we just did there, the concept, and then you take this vision and you go backwards into our mission and our goals to actually stretch the community there and the importance that DEI will have in the community, right? Because we have some heterogeneity going on in the community that's very simple to say we're gonna be welcoming, because we have been challenged
Right.
to be truly welcoming.
Right.
And so-
Right.
Yes.
So,
We haven't really defined what welcoming means.
sure.
Yeah.
So, and once you do that, then,
Who had that?
What are you doing?
actually, I don't know how to do that. but- Okay. So,
I like this.
Are we good?
I'm trying to be good.
good doesn't mean silent.
Yeah.
No, believe me, I have something to say, I'll say it. I think you all know
That's
that, but yes, I like the change. I like the second one, absolutely.
We good? All right, can you like delete everything but from here up?
So delete all that?
Right,
I mean,
and then delete that,
From Marie or just the whole?
just delete the whole thing because we got draft vision statement. Now save that so we don't lose it.
Hey,
Okay,
Amanda's.
All the pressure's on you.
all right,
I'm fully aware.
okay.
Back to you.
So we have a vision statement. Webster Grove strives to be welcoming and a collaborative regional leader with a diverse community and connected neighborhoods where people and businesses thrive.
Nice, clean statement. We strive to thrive.
And then I like that we
Yeah.
are mentioning businesses too.
Me too.
I think that it's been a long time since
Yeah,
any,
Yeah.
yeah.
besides our DEI, I think that
Right.
is business oriented, but
No, I totally agree. I think it's smart to have businesses in there too. You gotta have the financial support,
Yeah,
and you gotta have places for people to go when they come here to visit besides somebody's house.
yeah,
Because businesses should be
You know.
one of our strategic goals.
yeah.
Right, exactly.
And we got a decent amount of headquarters here now. I mean, Telly Towers, tires come in,
Mhm.
so.
Owen Ridge.
Wow,
Yeah.
who else do we have for
Yeah,
headquarters?
but
That's pretty
Mallinckrodt's
cool.
over there, not headquarters, but I mean, it's.
Yeah.
It's something cool to think about as we go forward.
Visual strike as a whole comp.
And this is
Yeah.
totally off topic, but it would also be kind of cool if the community knew that those were here.
Yeah,
Yes, I think,
Like,
yeah.
you know, because I think when I think. you
we're
know,
not a
Fuel
business. people.
citizen, no, I think what's on Lockwood,
Yeah,
Yeah,
or maybe up, you know, the little businesses up in North Webster, up by Avery, that area, I think of those places. But I don't
Hey,
know what's
maybe-
thinking about the property down by Watson Road,
Yeah.
Owens Division, Karen.
Maybe we can start lobbying Emerson to buy the church's property to build there.
There you go.
There you go.
Probably you're all doing-
There you go.
what church property?
The one on Lockwood.
So can we go on to vision
Yes,
statement?
let's do.
All right, we're on a roll. Okay. Vision statement defines your fundamental purpose as an organization. Organization means, why do we as a community exist as the city of Crossroads? And is used to articulate and create ongoing operations of the organization. It's like, why are we here? Why do we exist? Here's the current one. Webster Groves committed to providing professional, efficient, and responsible services and to working with citizens to enhance its position as a premier place to live, work, and raise a family in a traditional yet progressive community. We decided to start over last time.
Yeah, that's too much.
Not that, you know, it's always good to review things. And so the subcommittee worked on something for you to reflect upon. Laura, you want to read this one?
Sure. Webster Groves provides residents and visitors with excellent, fiscally sound and responsive services to enrich and strengthen the community in which we live, work, and celebrate.
I added the diverse people we serve, because I felt like you had to celebrate something. So you can ignore that. That was my personal addition. That's why it's in parentheses. So
You want me to read it? with that?
Emily, yeah, we're going to one more time.
Webster Groves provides residents and visitors with excellent, fiscally sound and responsive services to enrich and strengthen the community in which we live, work, and celebrate the diverse people we serve.
What do you, go ahead. I was gonna ask, what do you like first, and then we'll go into like.
Well, I feel like we're part of the writing group. Maybe I shouldn't say anything yet.
Sent you email.
Okay.
You are part of the writing group, but that's all right. You've had time to reflect on your little last.
It's nice to see the original. Mission.
Then I do have a comment when we get on them.
Okay. Original one talked about services. Premier place to live, work, and raise a family. That feels to me like a vision statement, but
Yeah,
Yeah,
that bold right there feels like a vision statement to me, but and then it emphasizes traditional yet progressive community.
When you talk about residents and visitors, we don't talk about in the other one, but we don't talk about
Oops, sorry.
businesses, but maybe that's okay because that's in our.
Well, you
vision.
could add the word businesses, provides residents, businesses and visitors.
I think that's a good addition.
How many people nod or give me a little 5 or something about adding the concept of businesses? David, yes, Emerson, Emily. Yes, so go into.
Karen, do you have thoughts?
Oh, sorry. Karen, are you okay with adding the word businesses provides residents, businesses and visitors? You're good with that? Okay.
So on the clause at the end, I mean.
Oh,
I-
we don't need that. I mean, I didn't.
No,
yeah.
I just, we do want to celebrate the people that we serve. I'm also okay leaving it out because like we all celebrate different things, you know, and I
True.
think it.
Whether it be
makes
art
good.
or music or.
And the idea that we come together to celebrate whatever those things are, which might not be necessarily people, might be events or holidays or jazz fest or whatever. So I think that we can have celebrate without what are we celebrating?
Or you could even say, so you use the word together, we come together. Do we celebrate, we live, we work together?
Yeah.
Time to
I guess-
church a little bit.
That's-
EU.
Amen.
So take this off. Oh,
all of us are-
Sorry.
take
I
that.
mean, words that don't
Take
hear.
this off.
So would it be overkill or like unnecessary to put it's before residents?
Provides.
I feel like there's a little bit of ownership missing there. I don't know.
Our, yeah. Our, right, that provides our.
The word residence actually denotes that you reside here. So I think that's a little, no.
A little redundant, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I mean, that's what the word means, is resides. So provides residence.
Yeah. That's
But I think we're trying to be a little more warm and fuzzy, embracing.
That was the problem before. We always try to be warm and fuzzy.
Or either we try to be so
A lot of words.
so, you know, it's our little group. It's us. It's, I mean, of course, we're trying to provide residents, you know, I mean, that's who provides here, but I don't know. I think that our residents, to me, kind of is an isolating statement
Okay,
instead of a warm, welcoming.
so can we put our businesses and visitors then? Or is it the same
Provides
implication?
residents,
Businesses.
our businesses and our visitors.
Yeah, I guess it's weird.
We have a lot of businesses that do business here that aren't here, so.
And I don't think that should be just, as far as that goes, then limited to our businesses, because if we're welcoming, I mean, if we're providing that for residents, businesses and visitors, you know, visiting businesses could also be something that's beneficial to the city, because maybe they may want to decide they want to work or live here or do more business here. So again, I just kind of don't, I think we want to be careful of making the statement in a way that creates isolation.
I think you're right.
So are we good with leaving out the word our?
Can I just?
Yeah.
A note I just realized as we're sitting here, we use the word businesses a lot. I don't have any issue with how it reads. I think we understand it, but the other major institutions, a load of nonprofits, things like that, are they going to feel not named in that, right? Which I don't think we have to put them in. I'm just putting that on the table.
Yeah, we could say organizations or educational institutions or organizations.
Institutions, I mean, yeah, so.
Do businesses, would businesses identify with being called an organization? I'm asking because I'm not a business, so I don't know.
I think you'd have to have a vote.
It's probably pretty important to remember what we're doing now. And what we're doing now.
Yep.
And it's probably pretty important to include those institutions like the university, private schools, public schools. And
I have a little something about it in my people's definition. Doesn't work exactly, but we value the individuals and also the groups they form: families, companies, schools, churches, neighborhoods, and other formal and informal organizations. Because we do have schools, we do have nonprofits, and then we probably still have things that fall outside of those.
In the code, we call them major institutions, just so you know, like,
Yeah.
we reference them as that. There's no definition of what that means. We just call them that.
Not minor.
So if you're a big nonprofit, you get street banners and there's.
Organizations covers it.
And I like that word better than institutions. I don't
Right.
know why.
I
It
mean, it
just,
covers.
So you're saying have 4 up here?
Yeah.
Provides residents, businesses, organizations and
Yeah.
visitors.
Yeah. Mhm.
We'll just stick that in, we'll see how it feels.
I've had people comment on the word residents. They don't really like to be called residents. I'm not saying they change it because I don't have a better term, but
Yeah,
We had started with citizens,
Yeah.
that was too limiting.
Because we felt like
I
we
know.
want kids to feel a part. Well, they
Yeah.
live here.
I use neighbors a lot, but then people are
that's
like,
my fallback and everything.
yeah,
It's not great. I got.
then people are like, people that live near you.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can talk with your neighbor. Provide, you could say the people that live here, I mean, you're making your sentence longer.
Yeah.
Provides
I think
the
right.
people that live here, businesses, organizations and visitors.
The people who live,
That's,
work, visit, I mean, you could change.
I mean, we could, those who do business, those who live here. Yeah, I think that's.
I think we're getting
wordy.
too long and You want this to be something people could walk around and eventually, the people within, you know,
Don't use two
this
words.
facility,
Don't
yeah.
use two words when one word will do.
And when we talk about the community engagement with this, are we talking about putting out our draft vision and mission, like all the stuff that we draft? So they'll see those things together and maybe they'll come back with like,
We're gonna ask
Some
them,
ideas.
yeah.
you're gonna see a draft survey in just a little bit, but we'll put this out. Ask them to rate their level of support, 1 through 5. And any suggested changes or things they really like about it. So then you'll be able to read those. And if you get some consistent feedback on, I don't like the word residents, I don't like blah, blah, blah. If you get a lot of that, then you're gonna want to think about that word a little bit more. Or you didn't say churches, well, organizations kind of covers churches.
Right.
So,
And nonprofit.
right, and nonprofit covers schools.
And education.
Covers Epworth and Edgewood, it covers universities, you know.
I'm putting a comma.
Are you an Oxford comma?
I am.
We didn't do one of the other ones. so.
It's in this, it's later in this same thing though.
I know, I'm just making sure.
True.
We didn't do it in the vision statement, so I was like, are we doing Oxford?
But
comma?
it's well.
More words.
I'm a big fan of.
Some people say there's no Oxford comma, so I mean, this is the style.
Also a fan of consistency and we have 2 other Oxford commas already.
Totally agree, so.
Not a big
I
deal.
don't know
if
what
you wanna
that
take them
means, and that's
That's an Oxford comma.
glad to know this. So, I just want you to know, I'm very proud of the progress we're making at this point.
Yeah.
It's
Let's
not
not
like
move on
from the anything else that you want to talk about in this. Something you're like, well, I'm not sure. Why don't you read it to yourself? This time.
I really like celebrate. I know a lot of communities use play and I like that too, but I like celebrate. It seems bigger than just.
Theoretically, celebrate is a much more.
Kind of like-
activity than-
Yeah.
It goes with Thrive.
That's what I was
It
gonna
does.
say, I like, and it's also like, as you were saying, Laura, with Thrive, it's ambiguous enough where it allows people to define it themselves.
Yeah.
Celebrate people, you honor people.
Because we do a lot with the word celebrate. How can we celebrate our businesses? How can we celebrate our
Right.
organizations? How celebrate our visitors and things.
And to David's point, if you were a church reading this, you could say, well, celebrate. Fits in with what we do, you
Yeah.
know? It fits in lots of ways.
And it's an opportunity to us to go up and down a lot with singing stuff.
With that song.
Dave, you don't know what's got to sing at your next public. Webster Groves, come on.
Dave will record it for us, we'll later. Okay, let's do, you know, like fist to 5, fist, oh man, I really hate this, I can't even think about it. 5, we're ready to let other people see this. Where are you, David?
5.
Okay, cool. Karen, where are you? 5 means I'm ready to let other people see it. Fist means
Karen.
I'm not done. Just, you can just.
I'm
show me.
5, I'm ready to let other people see it.
All right, cool. Save it, please. Hey, and I just want you to know, I didn't give you the timeline, but we are now officially, don't say it out loud.
Don't say it.
I'm not even gonna go there. Moving on. I got the clear. All right, we're gonna talk about the values now. Hopefully people did their homework. If you didn't, we'll help you get it done. So values, their beliefs, the organization and communities base all policies and actions on. You won't break your values. You won't do something that would be anti one of your values. They guide your decision making. These are the ones we came up with last time. Leadership, creativity, diversity and inclusion, sustainability, people, and excellence in service. I want each of you to just take a piece of paper and write your definition on there.
You want me to hang these up on the walls today?
Yeah, that'd be great. Oh, it should be 6 of them. I brought one to everybody. So. Oh, on the wall though. That's fine. Well, yeah, because we got a little process to do, so I got it.
Well.
You killed my whole life.
Yeah, and I can ask, you use legible print. If you have trouble with that, let me know and I'll come help you.
We're writing it on a big piece of paper.
Yes.
Yeah, we need, what do we?
We got markers right here.
And
I know some people printing is better than others, just so people can read it. Or I guess if you just want to take yours, not you could.
It's too small.
As long as people can read it, it's fine.
Values.
Katie, can I email you mine?
Katie's not here right now.
Email it to
Oh,
Eric.
somebody-
Email it to Eric.
Peterson email.
Okay,
Use whichever one you want. Both of them are very, very simple.
You don't want to be, you got what?
Yeah, but she ain't got enough paper for the other one.
let's see, how do I get to close this?
I tell you what.
1, 2, 3,
You can use it.
4. We can just leave one on the easel.
If you want to.
Maybe when Karen's coming
But I
down,
think that's one last statement and I was
put
gonna.
hers up here.
Okay.
Go for it. It's all open to the start.
Yeah, that's what I
Right here,
wanted
and you and
to-
Sarah have one.
We wanted to-
Put it in there.
All right, but I'll try to get a little.
No, don't, just write as it is, because then you're gonna start stretching out.
All right.
Okay, Eric, I sent it.
Thank you.
You want to just read it to me and I'll write.
You want, or you want me to leave it on the board?
No, because I want them to be able to post comments, so.
Oh, got it, okay.
Kind of need to.
As soon as it pops in here, I'll just put it right on the screen. So you can see it.
Hers was.
You want me to read it to you?
That's right.
While you hold it?
No, because then you don't do it straight.
There it is. Nope.
Okay, so I'm gonna just mute real quick.
Aaron, you want me to send you pictures of each?
Huh?
We want you to, do you want us to send you pictures of each one of these?
Sure, that'll work.
Good idea, Lauren.
So far, Dave's got the shortest and Sarah's still working on the longest.
I was pretty sure it was gonna be me, Sarah, so.
And Emerson is not signed off, but.
Well, don't say that.
Sorry, I got back a little bit. Papers. Well, and actually Pam's is pretty short. She just wrote large. So,
I could,
She used the 134.1.
I use the
Emily, what is your profession? What do you do?
big pen.
I
I'm
can't.
a business director at
I know,
At,
I came to the.
School of Medicine at WashU.
Oh, okay.
I manage grants group,
Okay.
Yeah.
grant
I thought maybe
management.
your background was in English or writing or something.
No, it's very hard to describe what you do, but
Okay,
grant management.
that's all right. All right, you have some Post-its.
Okay.
What I want you to do is just pick a chart, read it, leave a comment, if you have a comment to leave with your Post-it. Just stick it anywhere near it. You don't have a comment or you think sounds good, then just move on. But post some comments. And Karen, we'll just ask you to share yours when we're ready to do it all as a group.
Okay.
We'll take a little time, read each one, take your Post-it. If there's a comment you want to make, leave a comment.
Okay, they should be coming your way, Karen.
All right. Okay. Oh my goodness.
It's up on mute, Karen.
Oh, okay. That's a lot. Okay, wait a minute.
Getting hit by one.
Okay, I'm thinking I just really oversimplified this,
No,
apparently.
no.
Like that.
You're fine.
You didn't, Eric had great praise for yours too.
Companies pay you a lot of money to write that for them.
Yeah, I'm glad you got abundance in here.
That's why it was top of mind, I think.
No.
Excuse me. Thank you.
Thanks, Em. Good water too.
It's more the same talk.
Right, little. Into this.
Do you want me to go get bigger post-it notes for you?
No.
I have some in my office.
No,
They have a note, bigger note. Yeah, that's true.
Challenges we have.
Okay.
What joys we have.
When you turn your comments, just come back and have a seat at the table.
That was a good, Northwest meeting.
That's good, really?
We got out at 7:45.
That means I didn't need to be there, but I only make it longer.
Oh, I was too tired.
We have swim lessons. before that.
Mine was.
Karen, are you done?
You're muted, Karen.
She looks like she's still working. Are you still working, Karen? Are you ready to discuss? She's good. Okay. David, how about if we start with you?
All
Let's
right,
go to your poster. Read your definition.
This is your class presentation.
I'm
And then-
okay to start, but I just wanna, I think that it's important when we look at these, which order they should be in.
Yes.
And I really like that definition to go first, because I think it
Put
encompasses,
the people first.
yeah,
Okay,
just an FYI,
so we
that's
can talk about, yeah, that's good point.
leadership, so what should, what?
Just read what it says and then.
Oh,
tell us what the
leadership is a
comments are.
process of positive influence which maximizes the mutual efforts and goals of the community without sacrificing trust or transparency. I have a post-it note here that says influence to encourage formal progress on goals. Another post-it that says, how do we extend this to regional? Then leadership involves range of actors, make that clear. Needs to be to Webster Groves.
I see that last one.
Needs to be more specific to Webster Grove.
Karen, did you have any comments on the leadership one?
No, I don't. I actually thought it was very crisp and clear and
Okay, thank you. So what changes would you like to recommend, if any, based on what you just heard? And if you wrote one of the post-its, it might need further explanations.
I wrote the regional comment, not because I have any problem with that. I just thinking about our vision of collaborative regional leader. We talked about the community, but how do we extend that to the community of communities? You know, and so it was just, how do we express that value in that larger sense outside of our.
So even if it's goals of the community and region without
Sure,
sacrificing
yeah.
trust and transparency,
I was just, how does the value reflect that idea in the vision and mission of
okay.
being more regional?
You're not proposing a change at this point. We just
No,
need to
I just-
keep in mind,
yeah.
that we want to be regional leaders.
So can
I
I,
thought of something else.
I'm sorry,
So did I.
oh, thank you. So I'm not sure that I like the negative positioning of trust and transparency, not sacrificing it without.
Well,
Because
maintaining.
you want, no, how about, let's make it positive,
Yeah.
which is, part of leadership includes
Like demonstrating.
trust. I keep thinking of encouraging, but that's not the word I want. Enhancing, that's not the
Fostering.
word I want. Fostering, that's the word I want.
So instead of without sacrificing, put fostering trust
Yeah,
and transparency, probably not or, but
Mhm. Mhm.
Mhm.
David, you okay with that?
Mhm.
All right.
I put the Webster Groves comment in partly because I feel like it needs an intro to it. It's like, like Webster Groves. Something leadership.
Leadership is a process.
Just something that makes it not like a general definition of leadership, but specifically one for
Okay.
Webster.
Maybe just put WG up there and we'll come up with a common stem for all of them. We all want to just have something with City of Webster Groves. Believes leadership is a process of positive influence.
I had the forward motion, post-it note. Just because when I was reading it, I really like it, but I was like, positive influence for what? Like positive influence, like to reach our goals, to like make forward motion. I'm not sure exactly what the phrasing is, but like something that shows like motion towards what we're aiming for.
Say it one more time for me, Emily.
So it says leadership is a process of positive influence. And I thought after that, we could add something like influence for what reason? Influence to reach our goals, influence for, progress in the community, and just like something that shows some direction. of
Isn't that what
the
you mean by
influence is for.
the second phrase, which maximizes the mutual effects? Is that what that word is?
Efforts.
Efforts and goals. So you're maximizing your positive influence in order to maximize.
My comment was about the positive influence. For me, I'm thinking two things. Am I a process of I can't think of the word.
Persuasion.
No, instead of being like I'm walking the walk, leadership is a process of
Modeling.
modeling positive influence. And then also I want it to be evergreen, like evergreen positive influence, like ongoing positive influence, or something that says this is not just one time. It's, it's throughout.
Throughout, and then can that be adaptable and everything?
Yeah.
So leadership is an ongoing process of,
Or ongoing
Oh, I was
action.
thinking a process of ongoing positive influence
oh, okay.
or Yeah,
Just the word ongoing.
yeah, or, yeah. Or a thorough process of positive influence, yeah.
Is it?
I was gonna say, I have the other post-it note up there, which is, I think, one of the things we talked about last time when we think about leadership. It's not just the people in this building, it's the people in our community that we are asked to lead. And so I don't know how we want to say leadership, both inside and outside of government, or, somehow to make it clear that this definition of leadership, we're not just talking about the 7 of us who are elected, or the people who work in directorial positions within our city government.
Maybe the way to incorporate that then is leadership throughout Webster Groves is a process of ongoing.
Yeah,
That's what I was gonna say, 'cause one of the things I thought of rereading your first quote was, it seems very much on our end, right? But leadership is a two-way
Yeah.
street, right?
Yeah.
We're also serving as we're leading, right? So how do we all, that
Right.
mutual action that's happening together?
I like it, David.
Why don't you read us what you have right now?
So leadership throughout Webster Groves is a process of ongoing positive influence which maximizes the mutual efforts and goals of the community, fostering trust and transparency. The only question, I get, at least based off of this so far, would be if we want to include the in region.
Should we say while fostering?
Can I
I don't know, I kind of like it without the wild.
With just a community, comma,
So it would be, which maximizes the mutual efforts and goals of the community, fostering trust and transparency, or while fostering trust
Because
and
I think,
transparency.
like, it's basically, is it a goal or is it a thing that we're doing? Because I mean, because I feel like if you take while out, it's more of a, like, trust and transparency are part of our goal. And I think they are.
I'm wondering if you want to add fostering trust, transparency, and forward movement, or simply because that was something you were trying to achieve in your plan.
that is a word, yeah.
I
like that.
I'm okay if you don't do it too, so.
If you want to delete the while, that's fine.
Do you see that, like, or does that not make sense?
So repeat what you just said.
Me?
Yes.
Fostering trust, transparency, and forward movement.
Okay. What would happen if we flip that? Go to the community. Go to the community. What is it?
Fostering,
Fostering trust, transparency. No, that's. No. No.
How about
I'm good.
fostering forward movement, trust and transparency?
that's fine. I'm sorry. So what we have is leadership throughout Webster Groves is a process of ongoing positive influence, which maximizes the mutual efforts and goals of the community, fostering forward movement, trust, and transparency.
You want to list there, or is trust is forward movement like rooted in trust and transparency? Is trust and transparency part of the lift, or is it values of the leadership? That I'm just asking.
It's a valid question.
I think,
You understand my question there, Ben?
the purpose of being a leader is to first foster some kind of movement. So I'm saying it's forward movement.
Right.
Oh, that has trust and transparency.
I don't disagree with you. What I'm saying is the way it reads there, it's forward movement, comma, trust, comma, transparency. It's a list. And is it forward movement
With
rooted
trust.
in
Okay. you can say
or founded in,
of trust, forward movement with trust.
Well, he's
I
saying,
like the word rooted,
I do
like,
too.
So what I'm saying is
Yeah.
maximize the efforts and goals of community, fostering forward movement rooted in trust and transparency.
Yes,
I like that.
yes.
Not that my voice matters.
I just say yes.
Forward movement, yes, it does. We pay to hear your voice. I just had this discussion with an employee in an organization where When you quit using your voice, then I need to quit paying you.
I don't know. They could not pay me.
Not everybody
They hear my voice, so.
Thank you for waiting to use it.
That's good.
Can Eric put that up on the board so we can see it? I can-
Just create a separate document,
Yep.
maybe the values.
But you know what? I don't think. I think some of these are gonna inform each other and
Yeah,
I don't think we should.
Well-
Well, these are done
No,
until.
no.
No, but I can't read that. There's no way I can understand that.
Once we have them all, then I think it'll be nice to have them all on one spot for us to look.
We know what the clean David definition is, then as we look at the others, they're called about.
Right, right.
You know, watch me all type now.
That's fine. We'll let Pam, you want to go ahead and start with yours? Sustainability.
Sure.
Remember, these aren't in any order right now. so.
Okay, so I'll read it, and then I guess I'll go through the comments
Yes.
for everybody. Okay, sustainability is maintaining the balance of Webster Groves's economic, natural, and human resources in order to fulfill the needs of the present community and ensure an abundance for future generations. So the first comment here was put human first. Which would be good. Achieving, creative, developing the balance. I guess
Instead of
I,
maintaining.
okay, that's true. We may
There
not
was-
be in a balance right now, but
Yeah,
for
I
some
was
reason.
jumping off of another comment that says, like, are we in a state of maintenance already or something?
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that?
yeah. No, I get it. I get that. That's fine. President, future.
That was me, just, I think it, just stop right there, fulfill the needs of the present and future community.
Yeah, I wanted to.
Gotta get
I wanted
abundance
to
in there.
make sure.
Yeah, I know.
Don't make Pam part with abundance.
For-
No, it wasn't even, I just, this is important. I think for
Yeah.
us to say we're talking about future generations.
Yeah,
I think that's a really good,
Strong.
yeah, like I think it's
It
important
mirrors
to
this.
say,
It's a powerful
Yeah.
statement.
yeah.
Makes it sound like that's true. I love this.
Wait, you have to read it because we didn't.
We didn't all go
Makes
in.
it sound like we've already achieved balance.
Oh, gotcha.
That
Okay.
kind of goes up here.
Yeah,
To change the word maintaining.
Yeah, I love this and needs of climate, which was supposed to be in the
In
natural
natural.
resources.
but
But I think if we put human here, natural resources goes together.
you could add like.
I see what you're
needs of
saying.
climate change too.
Yeah.
Human resources sounds a little too,
Human resources.
The other
But that's
options,
part of the reason I wanted human away from resources. That was mine.
Oh, okay.
Sit-
Put people first and then it's about people and not about sort of HR stuff.
Like
Gotcha.
human, economic.
yeah, I mean, I work for like society and I didn't think I went, or social, so it seemed like human was the best.
yeah, I like the word
Consider
human,
people.
it's the resources that it's describing.
Mhm.
It sounds a little, for lack of a better term, a little fascist.
Well, hey.
You know what I mean, like, yeah,
just a look.
What would they change, if he changes the order? Webster grows human, economic, and natural resources.
Yeah.
That changes the
Yeah.
emphasis.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Mm,
Yeah,
Okay. So human goes first.
Yeah.
It'd be human, economic, and natural resources.
yeah.
Can we just make balancing the verb here?
Oh,
oh, that, I like,
Yes.
yes,
Yeah.
there we go, look at that.
So balancing.
Like contribution for the.
Oh, no.
And so we don't need
Balancing
maintaining.
Webster Groves, just balancing Webster Groves economic or human economic.
You
The balancing?
move the of Webster Groves behind resources.
Yes,
Balancing
I agree.
economic, natural, balancing human, economic, natural resources in order of Webster Groves in order to.
So make that a V.
Karen, did we get Karen's
And then
comments on
of
this one?
Webster grows to.
No, this Oh, you're right.
so maintaining or balancing the human, economic and natural resources of Webster Groves.
Yes, that's what I was trying to say.
That's a good,
I-
yeah.
sorry.
Thank you very much.
Karen, did you have any comments on?
Nope,
this?
I'm good. This, you guys are doing great. I'm fine.
Okay, jump right in there.
So I have the blue. Sorry, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Needs of
Read
climate.
The first Webster Groves.
So, yeah, I have the needs of climate. I wondered about here. because we fulfill the needs of our present community and the abundance, I understand, but the point is, at times, our community and the climate's needs may be differently aligned, and like, is that a value in sustainability? I'm just posing that question, so.
Good question too.
The present community where it lives? Or is that?
No, I'm saying about the climate, the
Yes, I
climate needs,
understand.
right? You
But
know,
to me, that's part of ensuring the abundance for future generations. So we're not thinking just about right now. We're
Sure,
also thinking
Right.
about the future and decision making.
And does balancing give
Mhm.
the ability for us to say, oh, we're balancing, our community might want this, but the environment. needs this.
Could we say something like ensures renewal and an abundance for future generations?
I'm fine, I'm just posing that I read it with thinking that our future look there was, while we have to talk about abundance, wasn't necessarily committing us to what we would find to be the best thing for the climate, if it's in conflict with what we want.
I understand.
That's the way I read it on my blush of reading that value, so.
But are we?
Nor, that may not be the value, so,
Getting too
yeah.
heady with it. Whatever you guys.
You want to read what you've got so far as he types it?
Sustainability is balancing the human, economic, and natural resources of Webster Grove in order to fulfill the needs of the present community and ensure an abundance for future generations.
I think that's a really strong sustainability.
Do it one more time.
Sustainability is balancing the human, economic, and natural resources of Webster Groves in order to fulfill the needs of the present community and ensure an abundance for future generations.
And Pam, I like that you fought for that abundance, because I think that's important when we're talking about sustainability. It's about what responsibilities are we taking care of now to ensure that there's plenty in the future. So I think that sounds really good.
How about instead of and, how about we say yet ensuring an abundance?
How about,
After pet, so.
No,
I don't
they're not in conflict with each other.
yeah, they're
Well,
not
we
in
just-
conflict.
Well, we just,
Well, they can be.
yeah,
sometimes.
that's what,
I mean, I
think
think
it's
that
a both
implies that they
and.
always are, though, like.
It seems to me it's a both and. I don't think we want to. Sacrifice. We always want, it's an always. We want to always ensure.
So
We
do
don't
you want to
wanna-
say that then? Needs of the present community, always ensuring an abundance for future generations. You're saying change the word and to something more powerful.
yeah, to demonstrate, I think.
And
that-
you used the word always, Pam, and you said yet ensuring an abundance for future generations. That's what I heard.
But again,
I think it's
always
wrong
and
as a-
ensuring are almost the same words. I mean, we're
Maybe you just
I
take the
like it how
word
it is.
and
It's
out.
simple.
Maybe you just take and out. Fulfill the needs of the present community, ensuring. an
Ensuring,
abundance for
yeah.
future
And to be a
generations.
I just want them to be separate and cleaner. They're two distinct thoughts. This could be a sentence by itself. You
Okay.
know.
I'm okay with it.
David, are you?
too
Oh,
many-
yeah.
You're okay with
Yeah.
that?
Phrases, there's too many.
All right. David's okay with dropping the worry about the and. So where are we on this one? This, we need to talk about it. 5, we're ready to show it to other people. Karen, how are you?
I'm good. Show it to other people.
Okay, 2 down. Wow, I was trying to go by size.
That's what I'm saying, you're taking things.
Oh, yeah.
Gotcha.
Let's go to
Yeah.
Karen's.
Oh,
Yes,
already
they're on
typed.
yours. Oh, here's my glasses. Karen's reads, being good stewards of our resources, we are committed to providing excellence in service by investing in staff, making data-informed decisions, and maintaining organizational adaptability. And the comments say, do we need to define resources, be more specific? Can we show how resources benefit residents? Resources, financial, personnel, physical, infrastructure, and be good, but could be a bit more specific. So I'm thinking this is the be more specific part centers around the word resources. Does that kind of capture the post-its? Because a lot of people
So it took
commented
me a
on
minute to-
defining resources.
It took me a minute, and Emily knows, because I said something to her, but it took me a minute to identify which value this was, because excellence in service is a little bit varied.
Hmm.
And I think maybe that's part of my problem, is like, I had to think for a minute, like, wait, is this sustainability? Because there is kind of a sustainable, like, there's, like, the stewards of resources makes me think a little bit of sustainability, and like, so I guess mine was the more specific, but I guess I'm trying to figure out, like, how do you make it more focused on the excellence in service, because that was what that got.
Well, can't you just move the phrase of being good resources to the end rather than have it be at the beginning? So we are committed to providing excellence in service by investing in staff, making data-informed decisions, and maintaining our organizational adaptability while being good stewards of our community resources, however we define them.
Yeah.
The other thought is, can we change the heading to be about stewardship, not service, or is that?
That's too far
Changing too
away, I
much.
think.
Yeah, I think
Because
it's
that's,
good.
to me, that comes back to.
I think it comes back to here. Yeah.
Ah, good point.
That's okay.
So,
So I know you mentioned while, I
You
wonder
can
if,
put a different.
why, I think that in this list here, if we're gonna move that there, it's not a wall or a separate.
It's
part
just
of the-
another
it's-
one of
it's
the
a
list.
Good stewardship of
Yeah.
resources.
Karen, you okay with that?
let's type it up there so she can see it. She can see the screen, right?
Yeah, I can see it.
Let's get it up there and then we'll let you look at it.
You want stewarding, good stewardship.
I like the data forming decisions.
Yeah, I like that.
Karen, you did a good job of looking at the notes underneath the value and she wove those in. Because remember we had the notes underneath each one?
Mhm.
Except for people did not have any notes, so. it's
Sorry.
all rogue.
That's all right. We are committed to providing excellence in service by investing in staff, making data-informed decisions, and maintain organizational adaptability and good stewardship of our resources.
So I take the one and.
Oh,
Can we say excellent stewardship? Or do we, oh, we already have excellence, never mind.
That's where the batteries.
If we want to,
Could say quality
if you need the
stewardship.
ing
Yeah.
thing, provide, ensuring good stewardship of our resources. I don't know if anybody cares that there's not a parallel there.
We can do that.
We're maintaining.
Oh, I see. Yeah, yeah.
We're,
that kind of thing bugs
Yeah.
me too. It's either ing or it's not, yeah.
I wonder about, I like excellence in service up here. Do we repeat it in that, or do we say something like service excellence, or, you know?
I
And
like
then-
the way it
I
is.
think it's the value, so I think restating the value is.
good, yeah.
is fine.
This might come out already, so I didn't write a post-it. And because I think it might already be there, but when I look at this, I'm looking for like the warmth, the community, like I know it's warm and fuzzy, like how this service comes across to our community, right? Like we want to be like easy to work with and creative in our solutions and that type of thing. And maybe it's already there in providing excellence, having adaptability in there, good stewardship of resources, but that was the one thing I couldn't figure out how to put it on a post-it. I was like, does this have enough of that kind of like community? This is more like internal, right? Like this is to me, like if I was on staff, I'd be like, okay, this is what I need to do. And it's less about how we're perceived by the community, and maybe that's totally fine. But that was kind of my one.
Maybe go back to your mission and vision and why you do that is so that businesses and people thrive.
Mhm.
Well,
And sometimes that's not a warm and fuzzy thing. That's a business thing to make
That's
sure that
absolutely true. Yeah,
to
Well,
make
that
sure
was-
that things are functioning the way that they should so that you get the outcomes that you need.
and maybe we have the warm and fuzzy in other values. So
Exactly.
when you see them all together, it kind of complements each other.
Well, and that was my comment about the residents, how this benefits residents. There's nothing in there, just kind of a statement, but one thing that I'm realizing is that we don't mention taxpayers in any of this. And I think that this might be a good opportunity to say the stewards of our resources for our taxpayers.
Yeah.
That encompasses businesses and
Mhm.
people and
Mhm.
individuals.
Not nonprofits.
Right, well, that's true.
So we're gonna.
There's a lot of, taxpayers.
What?
So we'll talk about ensuring good stewardship of resources generated by taxpayers or something along those lines, or. But it's not just resources generated by taxpayers too, because it could be You know, we're talking about tax revenue from a resource perspective, but we're also talking about our assets and we're talking about,
Yes.
Which includes our people that work for us. I mean,
Yeah.
which
that's the
include
thing.
our people that work for us, which include, yeah.
So to me,
I like the idea of
this
asset.
value is the central core of what municipal government does, right? This
Mm-hmm.
is what we're defined to do. Solve collective action problems, and we want to do it in a way that is data informed and efficient and whatever. So I kind of like the way it is.
Can we
personally.
swap out the word assets for resources?
Yeah. resources is there.
You could say tax revenues in there somewhere.
Oh,
Yeah,
you
but
mean-
tax revenues is a little limiting. Our resources expand beyond tax revenues, right? But it's a critical one. But that's an
I
extremely
think
critical one.
assets instead of resources
Yeah.
sounds good to me.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, uh-huh,
So you're saying,
Yeah.
ensuring good stewardship of our assets.
uh-huh.
And those could be,
That could be talent, that can be money,
correct, that could be,
land.
right.
If we
Infrastructure.
wanted to
Mhm.
name taxpayers at this point, including tax revenue, could be in here or something like that. I
Well,
mean,
what
we
if
could
we-
name it.
I just worry because it's all there, right? But the
Mhm.
word isn't. And I worry about how that
Could we
is
put that in
receptive
the-
to, possibly, but I just worry how that would, some people might take that. Oh, we're not
You
worried
didn't name
about,
me.
you're not worried about the taxpayer and that's how you guys function.
Yeah, but you know what? I think that would be fundamentally unfair, because if we're saying we're ensuring good stewardship of our assets, we are by definition saying we're taking care of your money.
I agree, it would be
Yeah.
fundamentally unfair, but from a political standpoint.
No, I understand. I do.
Well, we say economic over here in sustainability. Human, economic, and natural resources.
David's point is pretty well taken. The word tax, I'm paying for you guys.
How about if I just write tax up here, taxpayers up here, and we decide where maybe best to insert it after we look at all of them? Does that make sense?
That's good.
May I add in? So I have no problem with the ING, but I was just thinking about it, we look through this, we're committed to providing excellence in service through staff investment, data informed decisions, rather than the ING verbs, you could pattern that another way. But then also, as much as, I think Marie and I both agree about the investing in staff. Should that be the lead out of excellence in service, or is that farther down? Just not saying that a ranking matters here, but data informed decisions, adaptability. In my mind,
Yeah.
should read before staff investment.
Ensuring good stewardship of our assets probably should be number one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is back to kind of how it was in the first place.
No, I just wanted excellence in service near the beginning. It
Yeah.
still is,
So,
even with that.
so you're saying get rid of the ING words and.
So I am saying, if we are committed to providing excellence in service through good stewardship of our assets. Data informed
Yeah, I
decisions,
like that.
organization, adaptability,
Investment and staff.
right, rather than all the ING verbs.
Or we get rid of providing excellence, we just think we are committed to excellence in service.
But we can do it that way too. So,
Mhm.
I think the fewer words you can
Yeah.
keep,
I-
better.
yeah.
Right.
So did you want me to get rid of the ING?
I was gonna say,
Mhm.
well, that's not all that short either.
It's just bigger.
We'll make it better.
You just have big writing.
Yours is next.
Yeah, yours is next.
It's like a contest now. We have to do a word count on you too.
I have a solution for this over here. though.
No, this stuff is huge.
Let them take breaks.
We are committed. We're gonna take a break right now. As soon as we're done with this, we'll take a
Okay,
10-minute
good.
break. Then we're halfway through this and we'll take a little break. Committed to excellence in service through good stewardship of assets, data informed decisions, organizational adaptability, and investment in staff.
But I don't think investment in staff should be last.
That kind of makes it stand out too,
Okay, that's fine.
like, maybe after data informed decisions.
Something has to go last though. Let's
Yeah,
just remember.
Right.
I mean, not that it has to be investment in staff, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Do we say staff or do we say in our team? You know what I mean? Like, I'm just talking about value of,
For employees.
yes, employees, yeah.
Say, you talk about the investment in our team in Webster Gross, you mean like sports.
Yeah, no, it's, yeah.
Which seems like
Yeah, I
really
think-
big investments in according to.
If you're trying to move it up, then it goes right after assets.
Right. And I think investment in staff clearly articulates our administrative support. as opposed to teams, like I think, I don't know if that was Sarah that just said, what are we talking about? You know, sports, football, baseball, what, you know, but here we're talking about the people that help to run the city. Was my thought.
No,
Mhm,
yeah.
Right.
Karen,
I
it's all
don't
about
disagree.
basketball.
Basketball, okay.
Karen, I don't disagree. I just wonder if employees is a better word to the reader, you know, about who we employ here, right?
Is there discussion centered around the word staff versus employee?
Yeah, I was wondering about that.
Which word do you think respects the people who work for us most?
Yeah,
That would be my
From
question.
my perspective, employees.
Okay.
So I mean, I know we use staff
Somebody
internally a
to
lot,
staff
but
has to be-
So then we would say stewardship of asset, employee investments, data informed decisions, and organizational. So employee investment.
Employees. yeah.
Investment in employees.
Do we say city employees or is that unnecessary?
I think is unnecessary.
don't we want to invest in our citizens as well? Investment in employees. and
But not
citizens.
for excellence in service so much, right?
Service is the investment.
I gotcha. That's
It is
good.
always the end result. For the city.
I like it.
We are committed citizens, good stewards.
Karen, how do you feel about it?
So we are committed to excellence in service through good stewardship of our assets, investment in employees, data informed decisions, and organizational aptitude. I like it.
Mhm.
Go ahead.
two points. Do we need to say excellence in service to our entire community in any way, or is that assumed? And then also, we had a lot about welcoming and the vision in that. Is excellence in service, do we need to highlight part of our excellence in service is demonstrating a culture of welcome in some way
Inclusiveness.
and inclusiveness, so.
That gets to my warm fuzzy.
That's right.
I get it, but I mean, in terms of the value, when we say as employees, we look back at this, are we living up to the value?
What if we just say in excellence in service to all?
I'm just asking those questions, making sure that the value represents.
Yeah,
all we
because
want.
our service isn't just to our, I mean, we
Yeah.
got contractors coming in to get permits all the time. They need
Right.
good service.
Yeah.
I like to all.
Yeah, so all.
See how Karen feels about
Is that not?
Excellent service or for all or whatever.
Mhm.
Maybe for all, because again, this kind of goes back to my taxpayers. I think some taxpayers are gonna say, I'm paying the taxes. Why aren't you giving me excellent service and not worrying about anyone else?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
it. That's why nobody.
So
goes
it's
to
a permit
resident
for your
rates.
house.
But I'm just saying, it's, it's a curmudgeon way of
No.
looking at it, but
I get you. I do, I get you.
Point of view.
So David, are you okay with saying for all, or is there something you're proposing?
oh, no, I'm cool with that.
Okay. Where are we? Emerson's a 5?
Emerson's like, let's get it.
Real, I'm trying to remember where they go. Karen, are you good?
Yes, I'm good.
Okay,
All
all
right,
right, let's
look at
take a 10-minute break, come back at 11:10,
Tackle all the rest.
and we're doing great, so.
We haven't talked about the county yet.
Okay, here we go.
All right.
They're
We
meeting.
still have actually 4 minutes, or do you want to go ahead and get started?
Let's go.
All right, you're up, Laura.
All right, let's really go then. Let's see what I did blue. Here, I'll take it.
Laura, you have
Alright.
diversity, right?
Yeah, I have diversity and inclusion. City of Webster Groves seeks to create a culture of diversity and inclusiveness in which we value differences, provide equal access to services, facilities, and job opportunities, provide an environment of respect and dignity, and strive to be a place where all residents, staff, businesses, and visitors feel valued, respected, and supported. Businesses, employees, and
Organizations, is that what I wrote?
it's your handwriting. Well, staff, yeah, so we know that right now. That's employee.
Did I say organizations? Probably.
The top half one.
Oh, businesses, are we referring to the employees or only owners? That was just a,
To me, it's both, because I had business owners up there first, and then I got
Okay.
rid of that
okay.
and did businesses. Equal access. I don't know who got equal access.
Oh, that was it sounds a little too legalese for me and it worries me. Are we guaranteeing equal access to services?
The phrase,
Equitable?
Yeah, equitable would be good.
Provide equitable services.
Yeah, I like that. And how does this, correspond, the one thing I was thinking just now is how does this correspond with our diversity, equity, inclusion statement?
So that was a good question. I made a conscious choice not to go back and focus on that
Oh, yeah.
because I was afraid that after I saw it, I wouldn't be able to do anything else.
Yeah,
And maybe we don't want to do anything
Yeah.
else. Maybe we just refer to the statement.
yeah,
So this, I just decided to do an alternative and we'll see.
compare it then
Yeah.
after
We'll
we,
kind of link to it at the end or something.
Yeah. So we did that one.
Oh,
Organizations, does that mean I left it out?
Residents, employees, businesses, visitors, organizations.
Are we gonna do this in the same order, everyone? I don't remember where did we put it? In the other ones,
What's that?
organizations.
I don't think.
We don't have it
No,
listed in the same.
it's in
order?
the.
It's in the
our
mission.
and vision.
Okay. Sorry. How about after?
Yeah.
Community-wide culture. Seeks-
Oh, 6.
Which
To
one?
create
That
a
me?
community
So that was me.
Okay.
So, yes, seeks to create a community-wide culture. So again, the
Yeah.
idea not just about us here.
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
We want to create a welcoming and
Yes.
diverse and inclusion.
I like that. Leave job out of job opportunities at organizations who did that. So
services,
here,
facilities, and
so that would be. I put it in there because I did want to emphasize employment like within the city per tax, but I'm willing to accept that.
Well, let's
Maybe
see if it's on,
employment and other
let's see if it's on our DEI statement
Yeah,
first.
can we pull up the DEI statement?
Again,
See how I did.
it's about
Because we
us,
want it
right?
to be different, don't we?
We want it to be, that's why I wrote it separately.
Yeah.
I want it to be at least mutually supportive though.
Right,
Yes,
exactly.
yes.
But I
Where
think
is
I
it
wrote.
about us? I can't remember. I know it's here somewhere.
Should be on the front page.
It's under that.
Go to mission statement, I think it's under, it's the mission statement about it, well,
Yeah, it's on the same.
Bottom
page.
right
There we
there.
go.
Yeah.
There we go.
I think it's on the same
Thank you.
page. Or maybe not.
It used to be. Go to about us. Isn't there one that's about us?
This is a problem in and of itself.
Well, that makes a statement that you
Right.
can't find it. If we can't find it, what can the citizens find?
By accident the other day.
I thought it was under government.
Oh, but
We're gonna do a.
Just do a
like a
search.
type right here.
Equity.
Lord. Oh, wait, about Webster goes there.
there we go.
There.
Welcome.
How about somebody read that out loud for us?
Webster Grows welcomes and supports the unique and individual qualities of each resident, business owner, employee, and visitor to our community. We are committed to promoting diversity, respectful conduct, and equitable service. We strive to be an inclusive place for all, and we condemn discrimination. In all that we do as a city, we pledge to treat everyone with equity and without bias, regardless of their race, creed, religion, language, national origin, gender identity, marital status, familial status, citizenship, sexual orientation, age, income, physical appearance, or ability.
Does that do instead of making another complimentary statement? Just use this as one of our values. As it's written.
Do you
I
have
think
any
it should
other
be-
things?
I feel bad that we're throwing Laura's in the trash.
I don't feel bad. If you guys
I
think that's the right thing to do, I think that's okay.
No, I think
Would be-
this is different. This is different. I think this is a bigger statement. It should be up at the top. And this is a value we're still
I agree.
Mhm.
working on.
Yeah, I think it's fair.
I like this statement. Or this,
Or how about you read it the way it is now?
This one?
Uh-huh.
This is, oh, did you
I
change
don't
it
think it's
already,
changed
Eric?
yet.
Am I-
Nope.
Okay, so the city of Webster Grove seeks to create a community-wide culture of diversity and inclusiveness in which we value differences, provide equitable services, facilities, and opportunities, provide an environment of respect and dignity, and strive to be a place where all residents, employees, businesses, organizations, and visitors feel valued, respected, and supported.
Can we put the access back
I think
up
you
in
need
there?
access in there.
So it's,
Equitable access to
Access.
services.
yeah,
Mhm.
access to facilities, access to services, access to jobs, job opportunities. So
Access to,
Right.
equitable access to.
Two, there you go. Services,
So-
facility.
Just so you know, the statement does read equitable services.
Correct.
Okay.
This is different.
Okay, no, I don't
Yeah.
talk about my language, so.
And Laura, when you read it, you took out the word job.
I did, because I wanted to hear how it sounded, so
Okay.
I don't know what everyone else, sorry, that was an editorial decision, but.
No, that's all right. I figured
I
you
think
did it on
certainly
purpose.
opportunities job is implied, especially for naming employees, you know, the jobs within the city are, so, yeah, I'm good with taking it out, frankly.
I'm not, I like having it in there because it's a biggie. It's huge. It's, I think it's worth calling out because when you start talking about access and diversity and inclusion, job opportunities is large, which is evidenced by our equity, our audit where we are sorely lacking. So I think it's,
Can I suggest maybe we say services, facilities, opportunities and employment, separate the idea of employment and opportunities?
mhm.
I mean, because there's other opportunities that are not
I guess that's what I
employment.
was trying to,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's good.
Yeah, do that, let's try that.
Careful what you wish for.
Right,
Opportunities.
opportunities.
So one of the things we talk about when we talk about diversity and inclusion.
We take the and out in front of opportunity, employment. And employment and provide.
I don't think you need.
We don't need both of
comma
those.
After employment and no and.
No, and after, like, you want the next and on too?
I was thinking opportunities and employment, comma, provide an environment of respect, because that's,
Mhm.
because then we've got and down below and strive.
I think we need to say to provide. Because we're saying to create
Mhm.
and to provide an
Well-
environment.
Yeah,
Well,
well,
we can create a community in which we value differences, provide, so the in which we would take you out of two, right?
yeah,
So that's one whole.
Because you're gonna provide
You gotta
equitable
provide and
access. You're gonna provide an environment, respect and dignity.
I love diagrams.
You're right.
And you're gonna strive to be a place where all.
No one ever, maybe it's a semicolon.
No, I. Should go here, I think,
Before
because
employment?
because that's a group of things that we're
Yes,
talking about
yeah.
together.
And then I think. it's
And
just-
no comma,
and
right?
I think
Like
we
no opportunities, no comma.
I love your big phrases. I think. we
Well,
need semicolons
we're back to the
in there.
That's what I would do. Semicolon with spaces.
That's what I would do, okay.
They could be commands.
Services,
big,
opportunities,
yeah.
and-
So there'll be that one there, and then there'll be one after dignity.
Oh, really? I hate some. But that's all right, if they're.
No, really?
We need it. 'Cause these are-
I think we need a statement on the use of semicolons and Oxford commas the way it sounds right here.
It's all right, I can accept it.
I think the statement was- It depends.
Pam, can you just read it one more time for us out loud?
Diversity and inclusion, the city of Webster Groves seeks to create a community-wide culture and inclusiveness in which we value differences, provide equitable access to services, facilities, opportunities, and employment, provide an environment of respect and dignity, and strive to be a place where all residents, employees, businesses, organizations, and visitors feel valued, respected, and supported. Do we have, what about the respect in there twice? Is that okay?
That I struggled with that, but left it in. You guys can.
We have two provides in there too. Now.
Somewhere
Just added
just
one.
Can
promote
we
an
say
environment,
recognize?
Or create an environment.
create an
Well, let's
environment.
create a community at the beginning though.
Promote.
Okay, promote, yeah.
Can we say an environment of recognition? Or at the bottom, say they feel valued or feel recognized, valued and supported?
Value, recognize and support.
To get. Cause that way you're saying you at least see them. You see them for who they are, kind of idea.
David, is this where you would insert at the bottom, a place where all residents, taxpayers, employees?
No, I don't think taxpayers should go in diversity.
Okay, all right.
Well, some taxpayers are. It's a good question. We all pay taxes, even if we don't admit it.
If you don't pay taxes, you pay taxes, so.
Yeah.
You call it rent.
All right.
So, and this is probably like later in the process of this whole thing, but one of the things that's not in here, we have job opportunities in here. One of the things that we talk about a lot is housing, right? And like diversity of housing stock and things like that. Is that something that needs to be in a definition? Like
That was
this?
actually something we had wanted in that definition, wasn't it? My group put diversity of housing specifically in our.
I didn't know if that's what you meant by facilities, because I was worried about housing as well.
I forgot about that.
I feel like maybe what you meant was in terms of access to facilities means like ramps, elevators, accessible sidewalks,
Yeah, it feels like that.
as opposed to housing. Okay.
And I don't know how much of housing we can put in our own statement, because we can't assure equitable access to housing. We don't really create the housing stock. But it is a value that I think a lot of people have or
You
talk about.
can, however, and I think you might even have this in one of your ordinances that was talked about a couple of years ago. Was the non-discrimination about who can rent and who can buy.
Yeah.
And so
That
people
part of
can
it.
lodge a complaint
Mhm.
if they feel like they were discriminated against. In terms of having access to purchase or rent.
Yeah, like we can't create new stuff, but we can
Right.
help with.
There is a
the existing.
So would it be too much to include housing in, provide equitable access to services, housing, facilities, opportunities, and employment?
I don't think we're providing housing to anybody or,
We're providing
Access.
access,
yeah,
to provide equitable access to services, facilities, housing opportunity, because there we're talking about access. We're not talking about providing.
We're
No,
not providing
I get-
employment either.
And this is
Right,
still
well, right.
kind of aspirational too, right? Because it's Webster Grove seeks to create
rewind,
it.
Yeah.
rewind what I said.
Yeah, and it sort of depends on how, I just wrote it that way. It depends on how we do these.
Yeah, but I think
Opening.
I think it's important on this one that we know we're not exactly there.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
but that these are the things we value about diversity, you know, in our quest for diversity and inclusion.
Yeah, I kind of think housing should be in here too somewhere, because facilities reminds me of a governmental facility.
Right.
And that's what I meant.
Yeah.
When I wrote it.
Really? All right.
Access to the
Well,
pool, access
and
to
when
parks.
we-
yeah.
When my small
thought that's
group
what you meant.
talked about this, we talked about diversity of housing types, not just
Sure.
access.
Yeah.
So like it was,
Yeah,
that was
that's,
part of our diversity, and we got kind of lumped into the diversity and inclusion bucket with our post-it, but maybe it belongs more in some other spot. I
It
don't
might
know.
belong in a goal to achieve diversity and inclusion. 'Cause
yeah.
you've got a goal on
Yeah.
housing. I
That's
think.
true, yeah,
We do.
okay.
I just added shelter just
Yeah.
for purposes.
Where
of
is it?
conversation.
Where did you put
Right
the
by my cursor.
opportunity shelter?
Yeah, I think shelter, it. Unfortunately, I think it will ring alarm bells for some people.
Yeah, I don't like shelter. I think shelter is like you're hiding. Instead of saying the word that's intended, which is housing.
Or you
And-
like you're taking care of homeless.
Homeless, that's
Uh,
where.
Yeah,
I do like the idea, though. I mean, to be honest, when you move here because there are opportunities, the school district, other places. And so under this could be a specific housing goal that meets which is exactly what you just said, which meets where we want to go with this, but it doesn't necessarily have to be in the value definition. Because, I mean, for me, I care about housing because I care about this value.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Right.
I'm totally
If
fine
you're
with
gonna
that.
fully achieve that value.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to have a
Yeah.
goal on housing.
I'm good with having a goal and not having it in a statement. I'm fine with that. If we want it in the statement, we can craft that. That's fine too, but I'm okay with it.
I really like how the statement reads. I think it's very strong and effective. And I think that if we put a goal of housing, I think that the right,
It'll read into this.
yeah, I think, yeah.
I do wonder
That's
if
really
we
the
put these out in the
appropriate way to
community,
do
if
it.
somebody's gonna ask,
It'd
like,
be kind of interesting to
Well,
see.
if they do, then
Yeah,
yeah.
it actually.
And if you get
why
it
we
out,
have to-
then you put it in.
why we
Yeah.
have to.
no, like, it's where's housing? Like, if
Well, if you get a lot of comments like
yeah,
that.
then we put it in, right? Yeah.
okay, so I'm not clear. So why did we think it's not appropriate to put housing in the statement under providing equitable access?
So from my perspective, Karen, this value is why I care about housing as a policy, right? Housing in and of itself isn't the value. Housing is a means by which we maintain, increase the diversity and inclusion in our community. And so in that case, it becomes a goal under the value as opposed to defined in the value itself. That was my reasoning.
So how many people do you think would get to that conclusion by looking at this?
Well, we have to write the housing goal for them to really understand that, and we're just not there yet.
I think once they take the whole thing in a package, it's all gonna click. The mission, vision, values, goals. They'll see how it.
I mean, to be fair, right, like, I mean, I think Karen's making a good point. And- But yeah, no, and just saying like, housing is nowhere in any of these
Right.
definitions.
But
And it is extremely important to this council, it seems like, so,
look at the map,
yeah.
visual map, it would not fall in the values. It would fall in the goal category.
Right.
It's a tactic to
In
help
order-
achieve
It's a
diversity and
policy,
inclusion.
right? They're
Yes.
policies that we can work on.
Yes,
But these
We're
are
achieving-
political statements to an effect,
Yes.
right? You know,
Right.
so,
And diversity and inclusion, housing has to be a critical part of diversity and inclusion in Webster Groves. I mean, again, I hate to be a whatever, but you know, it wasn't that long where you couldn't live just anywhere in Webster Groves. I'm talking about 50 years ago, you know, so the 63, you know,
People are
so,
alive today, yeah.
you know,
So-
people are exactly. So I just personally on record, I think that housing needs to be stated with in
right
line
about
with
that.
diversity and
That's a good
inclusion.
So can we put it back in after opportunities?
Housing,
Because as Sarah just said, so you say it, Sarah.
Employment is also a goal.
Yeah.
You know, it's not,
policy goal.
yeah, it's
Or
policy.
either after facilities or before facilities, but either way, that's fine. I just, my main point is I think it needs to be there.
You want it there.
Yeah, I think that's.
I appreciate the emphasis, so I'm good.
Just expand on it in the goal.
really quickly, in the interest of potentially shorting, does the last clause and strive to be a place where all that, isn't that restating with more words what's up in the first clause
community count-wide culture.
of diversity and inclusion is when we value differences? I mean, there's,
Yeah, it's true.
we could pull that clause together.
Yeah, could you just say, the city of Webster Groves seeks to create a community-wide culture of diversity and inclusiveness in which we value differences, provide equitable access to services, facilities, opportunities, housing, and employment, promote an environment of respect and dignity, period, and promote an environment of respect and dignity for all, if you want, or
Yeah.
is that what you're
that's
kind
fine
of
with me.
saying?
And then.
I mean,
link
I
to the-
always use more words than I should, so that sounds good. to me.
So you're saying we're deleting valued, respected, and supported?
Oh, I use.
Being valued and supported is an important part that I think it's good to tease that out and specifically say, we value and support you.
Well, correct, yes, but here we're saying where we hope they feel that. First of all, anytime we say, we hope you feel, right, we hope you believe you are, we can't say you feel, we hope we feel you are.
So maybe we can say in which we value and support differences. I like it. I mean, I'm giving an example, but when Laura was campaigning, she talked about people feeling valued and supported, and that really resonated, I think, with people. And I would like to, you, I
mean, I did say that, but I didn't know she
That-
remembered something.
bitch.
So
But
just
I agree with
add that-
Pam. I really like the impact that making people feel valued, respected, and supported provides. As a way of ending it.
Well,
I don't want to lose it. I don't know how to.
well,
Well, why
it
don't
could,
we just leave it alone then, and strive to be.
that's fine.
I was only looking at other previous ones, and I got a lot of clauses.
Yeah.
It's valuable.
I just thought you were trying to say
Yeah.
white space.
Yeah.
How about not visitors feel, value, respect, and support, visitors are. I get your feel versus,
Yes,
I can't control what you're gonna do with how I
Are,
treat you.
but I can tell you
Yeah.
yes.
I understand what you were saying here. I mean, to me, that's much more of a vision statement in the value than the actual, this is the value we are living. to me, that last clause, that's how I read it.
Yeah,
It's more something that ends in the vision, not in the.
It kind of is our vision statement to some
Right.
extent.
I think it's just putting it in black and white. That's
All right.
important.
Oh, it's fine to be there, yes. It's
You
a
know,
it's a value.
you're really not going to expect people to memorize these, but if they don't know what inclusion is, then they're gonna go be able to look.
Yeah.
What do they mean by that?
Yeah, where we,
Your employees are gonna be able to go look. What do they mean by that?
yeah.
And we're gonna be able to go look.
Exactly, you're gonna remind yourself. I mean, I can envision, posters of your values
Okay,
in the
so
hallways and in the council room to remind you.
Mhm.
I think Pam should make them.
Where are we on this one? Do we need to keep talking about this one, or are
I'm good.
we're good to go? 5 means you're good to go. This means we gotta keep talking. Karen, where are you?
I'm good on a diversity and inclusion. Yes.
All right, we're moving on to people. Thank you, and that means Emily is up.
Oh, yeah.
So if you wanted to know, that ended up pretty long, so let's see if you can beat it.
I think the next one's gonna be one.
Okay, we value the people of Webster growth and strive to meet their municipal needs. This includes all people who are part of Webster, residents, business owners and employees and visitors. We value the individuals and also the groups they form, families, companies, schools, churches, neighborhoods, and other formal and informal organizations. We recognize that there is a variety of priorities, resources, needs, and interests across the people of Webster and strive to honor and be mindful of those differences as we plan and legislate. So comments were not sure about the municipal lease, which is my least favorite part too, so I'm happy to strike that.
Just put needs,
Yeah, municipal needs, question mark, first value, which I think David mentioned.
Yeah, this, I want this to be the first thing.
Not sure about municipal needs, totally agree on that. Love the last sentence. Shorten, yes. Center all our efforts on people. Need to shorten, second sentence is good. Love the individuals and groups. My favorite line is the last line.
So I do have one more that I just wrote on the post-it note. Those difference as we plan and legislate.
That's specific to us.
It is, and the rest
Yeah.
of this has been trying to be a little bit broader than
That's true.
just. And I don't know what to do with it yet. I'll think about
maybe
it.
as we make decisions together, or
Can we say meet their civic needs? So
Do we
municipal
need it all?
needs?
Like, can we just say?
meet their
we talked
needs.
about, excellence in service over there. So can we just say like we value the people of Webster, including,
Yeah,
like-
and just take out the,
and
yeah,
just take.
Yeah,
this,
that would
right?
help.
Yes.
Cause I wrote this and then I stopped because I was like, I don't love this includes, like, because I feel like it's a little, like, it's. But so that'll fix that too.
And then-
Yeah.
so then including, this includes,
Well, no, I
Or I
think we
would
just
say
say
including.
all people who are part of Webster, blah, 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 blah.
Oh, like
yeah.
get rid of this.
Come on.
No,
No, get rid of the, this includes.
make it a sentence. This, delete this includes.
This one?
I know,
Yes.
we are. I'm gonna stop talking.
Capital A.
Oh, so you want this here?
No,
No,
Okay.
yes.
We value what?
just leave,
We value the people of Webster Groves, period.
I agree, I think
Right.
that's really strong.
Okay, so we are leaving this. in.
yes,
Yeah.
and then I'm saying all who
Now
are,
it's
how
capital.
about just all who are part of Webster Groves? We need an end of the sentence, but. All who are whatever
I think we can rid of that whole.
will be support, will be,
Yeah, I think you could skip that line and go straight to we value the
Yeah.
individual name.
I think
We
it's-
value the
it's
people
got-
of Webster Grove. That's-
can we say we value all individuals? Then,
Here, we value,
yeah,
So then
All.
the sentence before that goes. Maybe.
yeah. We enumerate so many times, yeah, we value all in,
value people of Webster Groves. I mean,
And
Can we
forget
just-
also,
Oh, I like the also, because I feel like it's like, we're not just talking about like these people, we're talking about these.
yeah, the groups, the individuals and the groups, like as an individual, I value and I also value you as part of whatever.
we value all individuals and also the groups they form.
So take that out.
Yeah.
Oh, this here.
Yeah,
So can we move companies to businesses since we've been using businesses?
And then you have to add organization.
Yes, exactly.
Well,
I
but
have you,
Okay.
Although the catch all below.
This is, can we put businesses towards the end of this list this time?
families, schools, churches, neighborhoods.
Yeah. but- and then
Businesses and
businesses.
other formal and informal organizations, yeah.
The other one, we just said organizations versus.
formal and informal.
I like,
This is a different, this is a
Yeah.
different kind of statement.
because
Yeah, I agree.
people, I could call myself something and it's informal and accepted.
So I felt like that would get it like Rotary, that would get it like North Webster, but it could also get it like. Affinity group, like whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah, could work progressive.
Monday club, book clubs, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so then, did you come up with a edit for that?
Maybe you just put a period after differences. We recognize there's a variety of priorities, resources, needs, and interests across the people of Webster and strive to honor and be mindful of those differences.
Period.
Yeah, period.
Yeah. Because it doesn't limit then where we do this.
I don't know, I feel like the call out is strong though.
Like, be
Figure out what-
mindful
I think-
of those differences as we, in what way, like, that's what I was kind of like, and
well, we could
how are we
say
being mindful of them?
Like in
We could-
decision
we
making
could
or
be
something like that. maybe?
aspirational, like as we plan and create for the future, as we plan for the future, or as we plan.
As we make decisions for the future, just, I
Yeah,
heard her say decision,
Like,
you know,
put
there.
this together.
Oh, as we make decisions together?
yeah, that's good.
Or do you want and plan and make decisions together, or
No,
just
just
and
make-
make decisions
yeah.
together?
Yeah.
You're making decisions when you plan. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah,
mindful of those differences, Eric. I think it's as we make decisions together.
yeah.
Or make
that's-
decisions for the future, is that what?
I like together.
Some decisions are immediate impact. They're
Right.
really not about the future.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So I still feel like we've got some redundancy at the beginning, because we value the people of Webster Groves, we value all individuals and also the groups, like, do we wanna, do those need to be separate like that, or do we say we value community kindness right next to each other?
We could just say and
Yeah.
all the individuals and groups they
That's a
form.
long- I don't know, I like the, I like, we know you didn't put your.
Twice.
It's kind of nice, but well, I think we can use something other than value in the second sentence.
Oh, yeah, like maybe like the best word.
Yeah.
Decisions together.
Are,
Yeah, do we need all?
are mindful of those differences in our decision making? No. And should that be re-recognized that there are a variety of priorities, resources, needs? and
I went back and
interests?
forth about that too, but I think it's right.
Well, I
You
was
did it
thinking,
right.
what if
Yeah.
we say we
Or it is because
recognize,
it's people.
It's because it's variety.
can we,
Yeah.
can we put recognize instead of value in the second sentence? We recognize all individuals in the groups they
How
form.
about we appreciate?
Uh-huh, I like appreciate.
You look at a start.
That's all right, that's what you should do.
This one,
I love that.
this one confounded me as I read it, because I was trying to think about how we then create a common stem,
Right.
right?
Oh.
Because we're using we in this one and talking about, like, who's the we, right? And saying that if we're really building for community, is it a
Mhm.
community values of the city value about our community? But then if we're gonna say Webster Groves values leadership as a process, how do we make this one as Webster Groves values, right? The people of Webster Groves, right? I mean, so,
Yeah, that's true.
but that's further thinking. I mean, I think we should refine the statement and worry about the stems and how we lead it in.
Maybe that's a good point, Eric. Maybe we take the we value the people of Webster Groves and move that to one of our goals, and as we build our goals. I like it, but it would make sense if we start with Webster Groves values all individuals and also the groups they form.
It does kind of work
Yeah,
that way.
it does work that way.
So we get rid of the first introduction.
Yeah, and save that for our goal.
I don't know about that, but I do.
Yeah.
But I think, because I think it makes it
So
The others a little more.
Webster Grows appreciate all the individuals.
Now, that can just, now you go back
Now,
to
yeah,
value.
value
All
can
that.
stay.
Okay.
Yeah, that will wait for.
Hey,
So he's doing it. If you
Yeah.
wanna.
Normally not do.
No, if you want to, I'm just saying, you don't. have to.
That's how I keep track
I
of
like
what's
that.
going on.
All individuals and also the groups they form. Yes. I think that's nice and concise.
Do we have values in anywhere else as a verb? Oh, we do there. We'll have to figure that out later.
We actually, that could be the way we do them all. Webster Grows values.
Right.
I thought that was, I thought that was kind of our takeaway, I guess, like, is that how to think
Somehow I
about
missed that.
We really haven't said it officially, like you all as a group haven't said, yes, create it this way. So we've been refining and then I would assume there'd be further wordsmithing. Right here, is it better just to say we recognize a variety of Pridey? Rather than that there is, like, we can eliminate some words.
Yes.
Or maybe recognize the variety of priority and resources.
You want the or oh?
A. The,
I say the.
A, the.
Come on, Karen, let's go.
I'm good with.
With the way it says now, when we say we recognize a variety of priorities, it's like, okay, we recognize that they exist. But I think the emphasizes that those aren't necessarily ours. I'm not articulating that well at all,
It
but
reads like you're gonna pick a few.
yeah.
Well, I think that when we got
And
rid
I
of
think
there,
we don't
it's
wanna
not,
pick a few, we
we
want
should
to
get rid
pick
of
them
most.
all.
Yeah,
thing should be the.
yeah, agree.
Yeah, I like that better.
Fixes it.
Okay. Webster Groves values all individuals and also the groups they form, families, schools, churches, neighborhoods, businesses, and other formal and informal organizations. We recognize the variety of priorities, resources, needs, and interests across the people of Webster and strive to honor and be mindful of those differences as we make decisions together.
That's good.
And
Great.
Eric, because it's me, I would put a comma after these.
Well, what?
Alright,
It is your
She's back,
definition.
she's back to the Oxford.
Oh, good.
Okay, where are we on this one? 5.
Good.
All right, cool. One more to go. We can do this. Creativity.
Lordy.
Read it off for us, Sarah.
Okay. Webster Groves values creativity. Our community includes authors, artisans, builders, entrepreneurs, composers, poets, woodworkers, problem solvers, teachers, architects, gardeners, choreographers, designers, performers, photographers, bakers, chefs, event planners, curators, painters, sculptors, and so many others who bring vitality to the lives of Webster Groves residents every day. We embrace creative thinking in all its forms, viewing and solving complex problems with innovation and imagination, fostering cultural dialogue, promoting physical and emotional well-being, and recognizing that in creativity is our heritage, our present, and our future.
Oh, I really like that. Creativities are-
I like the last part.
Yeah.
Is it, what do the comments say?
Or that creativity,
I know,
recognizing.
I went back, well, Emerson and I disagree about that point too, so like, well, I went back and forth about it.
I like
I-
What does that mean to you? What does it add to be in and I'm honestly asking, in creativity rather than,
Because I think it's a solution. I think creativity isn't itself the heritage. It's like, it's like.
It's how you arrive at just.
but is there another word? That,
Creativity?
that,
How about if we let her read all the comments?
oh, yeah, sorry, we're ahead of that.
Yeah, read the comments.
I apologize.
That's all right.
Karen, why don't you go first? What's your comment?
Well, my first one off the bat is I have a problem with listing, when you start listing out individual examples of creativity, you're bound to miss something.
Yeah.
And so, I think that it would be much better to come up with a phrase to capture the expanse of creative individuals that we have rather than trying to list all of these out, because you're going to miss somebody.
I agree. I just, I do, part of why I wanted to list them out is because I think we want to make sure that we're naming things beyond art. And I was a little worried that if we don't kind of put some specifics in there, you miss that part of it, but then you also have to include the art. So.
Well, I think that could be something that we could do in our goals, just talk about, the things like chefs and businesses and the designers within those.
We have to think about goals.
Yeah, well, that might be true.
It's just, to me, it's more like, this is where you would like sort of plant that flag, I guess, and the goals are more specific and task oriented, like. But
Can we go through the other comments?
yes, I'm sorry. Imagination first. That's, oh, that needs like switching to imagination innovation. Design thinking.
So creative
Oh, so creative thinking, okay. Instead of the list up top, creative practices or creatives or creative practitioners
And
and
learners.
learners. Shorten, foster and support expressions of creativity in all forms.
Wait, would you read that one more time?
It says shorten and then foster and support expressions of creativity in all forms.
Oh, gotcha.
Let the reader define who is or capable of creativity. Summarize people. Like creativity is our heritage, our present and our future. Do we need to name all creatives?
So I'm kind of hearing that last phrase people really like, our heritage, our presence and our future. You guys agree with that?
Yeah.
We're good with that?
But
Okay.
is it in creativity or just creativity?
So I not just that last, I just like the whole last sentence from we embrace on.
Yeah,
So
me
that
too.
is-
I like that last sentence.
This is Emerson's version. It's a red
I do take your point about it has to be an expanded definition of what creativity is. That is a very good
A
point.
little bit.
I'm confused with,
That.
hold on, so what does, in recognizing that in creativity is our heritage, our present and our future? What does that mean?
I feel like it's almost two things there. Like, I feel like creativity is our heritage and like in or through creativity is our present and our future too. Like, I think we have a creative heritage. And then we're using that creativity moving forward. I don't know that we.
No, that makes
How we
sense.
wordsmith,
Yeah.
or if we need to wordsmith that, but I kind of see that as almost two different things.
Make this small.
I think we definitely have to do something with this top piece.
Yeah.
We had several comments on
Yeah.
that.
Over.
But
Can you think of two
while
words-
achieving-
two words that would cover that issue of all kinds of creativity that's here, without having to list them all like that, because as Karen says, you're bound to leave somebody out, some category out.
Well, I mean-
Can you generalize in 2 words?
I mean,
What you
I
have
think
there.
there's that, is that your post-it, Pam? It has like creative practitioners,
Mhm.
creative learners.
Our-
Skills and talents.
Our,
Like that.
our community includes creative practitioners and learners. I was going towards creative professionals, but that, you don't have to be a professional to be a creative, so that's why I think.
We could say
Practitioners
Webster
and
Groves
learners.
values its creative community and all its expressions.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah,
Go,
but I'm not
Eric.
sure that goes as far as you want, Sarah, right?
You want
It's still-
people who are doing that.
Like I want entrepreneurship in there.
Sure, no, I get it.
And I think, I do think part of our Webster Groves is in the event planning and then the things that come out of our creative, like the spring up out of our creative community.
Webster City.
Well, so
Yeah.
There's
we're
so many
acknowledging,
aspects, all the things, like.
acknowledging the
all
different
things-
skills and talents that we have and.
Talk about, we could say, oh, go ahead.
Oh, no, it's just, I mean, I know where she wants to go with it. You just have to find those.
How about
words.
Comment over here.
Let's just put it in goals.
No,
What if we talk about creative?
I'm sorry.
scholars?
You can also talk about how we see it, like we see it in our events, we see it in our public art, we see it in,
There you go.
As evident in whatever, yeah.
yeah.
is evident in.
So I still am not sure where this goes, right? Are we keeping it second? Because personally, I'd really love to move the bottom up and then define
And all its
people
forms.
in somewhere within that.
Start with we embrace.
Yeah, because we embrace creative thinking in all its forms is a very strong and broad statement, I think.
Maybe we
Or
could bring
switch innovation and
vitality.
imagination. Or.
I wanna keep some of yours too, Sarah.
No, I don't want it all to go, but I think maybe, I'm not so sure I like that long list of things at the beginning.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
Mm.
all I'm saying.
I
You
really
lose-
like
You lose people possibly.
Yeah,
That's what you're
yeah.
saying? Okay.
Can we change solving to examining? Because we don't always solve the complex problems, right? But we examine.
Viewing
them.
and examine.
Mm-hmm.
Creating.
I like it, solving.
There, it's a little aspirational, right?
We don't, but yeah, you're looking at it.
How about
Sometimes you
addressing?
solve it, Sometimes you.
I'm
Examine.
confused what the last clause means.
So think of it this way, our heritage, our past, our present, our future is, let me just phrase it this way. Our heritage, present, and our future has creativity all in and through it, is really what that's saying. That it is it's like a vitamin that has supported all of those things really.
It's vitamin.
It's a vitamin.
Sorry,
No, I like
I
that.
was trying to find the right word for nutrient. I was looking for there. Yes. It's like creativity was the water to the tree that was needed.
Thanks.
So that in creativity is our heritage is
At
really.
least rated our
But
value.
that should go up top there.
I
That
hear what
clause
you're
doesn't
saying.
work
Like,
with
I like Richard.
what that first part of the sentence states.
It could be its own separate clause. Right? What you're saying is because it's really talking about creativity, sort of in and through all things, do we separate it from this idea
Yeah.
of creative
Or you
thinking?
put, yeah, put a period and then we recognize it in creativity.
Wait, and that might be the place then. You recognize that creativity, I still don't
You're
like
saying-
it in,
It flows then with the, what we were trying to do up top.
that creativity,
Is our,
not, but there's a clause to be created in there that represents the vast nature of that creativity. I just can't find it in my brain.
Yeah.
So David, are you saying the first sentence should be that we recognize that in creativity is our heritage, our present, and our future? We embrace creative thinking in all its forms.
No, I think that we start with we embrace, that's the first one. But I think that we recognize that in creativity is a lead into what we're trying to do up top.
He's saying that once we figure out what we want to say for this, it goes right there.
Okay, all right. So, when you look at the last part of that. So many others who bring vitality to the lives of Webster Grove residents every day. So I think putting something in front of
Yeah.
that.
Well, could it be something like, we recognize the creativity,
Exists in a variety of ways, or. I think,
or no, it's I really do like bring vitality to the lives of Webster Groves residents every day.
Right.
That's a great phrase.
yeah,
I will look, I think that might be a good last phrase.
I think that's a good last phrase.
I think
Eric,
it's stronger than the
why
one
don't-
that
You
last.
had written those in medium somewhere.
Why don't we go a little bit farther and say we recognize that creativity is a foundation or the foundation for. Our heritage, our present, and our future. As evidenced or as demonstrated by. The so many people who bring vitality to the lives of Webster Groves residents every day.
We recognize that our heritage is rooted in creativity. And that in creativity. We move into the present and future.
Jamie, go ahead and say yours one more time.
I said something along the lines like we recognize that creativity is a foundation. Is a foundation or the foundation for our heritage, our present, and our future. As evidenced by all of the individuals, organizations, whatever, who bring vitality to the lives of Webster Groves residents every day.
I think it's too complex.
I think that's, yeah, but it's by saying we recognize that creativity is the foundation of our heritage, our presence, our present and our future. Put a period there. And maybe we honor the, the vast variety of creative people. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Creative people in operations or whatever. Who bring vitality to the lives of Webster Groves residents every day.
About, oh shoot, I had it. and I
I'm
lost it.
sorry. Damn.
No, it's not your fault. Because it's sort of, I want to put in there, and we like honor. Those who bring vitality to the lives of Webster Groves residents every day.
Right.
Yeah, I think that our community includes,
Creative people.
our community includes a broad range of creative people, whatever, that bring vitality to the lives of Webster Groves residents every day. But I know something more expansive than creative people, but that's where we're basically saying all of these different people that do all of these different things bring vitality to the lives of Webster Groves residents every day.
So do we want to
Oh.
say we honor,
We're talking about
The
the
creative
skills,
people-
skills and talents. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah, yeah.
we're saying people in organizations and the skills and talents they bring,
Mhm.
or their skills and talent, and I don't know.
But I think we need to focus that these are creative talents. These aren't.
Right.
We honor the creative skills and talents that so many,
I.
yeah,
Skills and talents that bring vitality to our community. Or bring vitality to the lives of Webster Groves residents every day or whatever.
Well, I'm trying to
Skills
type.
and talents and
I'm
so
trying to
many
type,
others.
Sorry. That's all right. Balance that.
Right, yeah.
So many. That bring or?
I'm waiting till.
Okay.
It's like, it all.
I like the sentence of how Sarah wrote it.
You mean with the listing of,
No, we recognize that in creativity is our heritage.
Vitality.
I think we're missing a word.
Well, I don't mind foundation adding, but I don't.
yeah, I'm not suggesting the bottom is instead of, I think it's an
Okay.
addition. to.
Right, I just pulled it down here.
Got it, okay.
We honor that the many creative skills and talents that many, you know, that create, what do you want me to say, folks?
How about if we said skill and wherewithal?
We just
What?
said creative people.
That's fine. Oh,
Who bring
Bring
vitality to,
Yeah. Creative people, get rid of everything.
So. Guess I wanted,
What, Pam?
were we trying to kind of rephrase the list? No. Something in there that shows that it's a wide variety.
Many and varied creative people? I don't really
To
like
me,
that.
creative people is just kind of watered down. I want it to have more.
Yeah, I like skills and talents in there because the
Visually.
many creative skills and talents, because they are truly skills and talents, because some people just have the skill and the
What
talent
about
to do
skills?
things that others never think of. And
Skills and strengths.
Yeah, but the talents and skills aren't creative. The people who do them are. So
Right.
You gotta get rid of
What
the
about the-
creative.
okay, so how about we honor the skills and talents of many creative people?
I like that. We honor the skills and talents.
We honor the skills and talents of many creative people,
Or of the many creative people.
of the many creative people who bring.
Or what about we honor the many creative people who use their skills and talents to bring vitality to
Yeah,
life? That
either
we're
way.
honoring the people.
Can we say just creatives and not creative people? Can we, the many creatives who bring vitality? Creatives. No,
Nah.
adding in other things here, I'll get there, don't worry, I got about 3 different thoughts rolling in here.
You're doing great. So is that a preferred, why do you not like creative people and want creatives instead?
so I'm just thinking, we're still not addressing the list of all the different ways that people live creatively through their whatever their medium is. I think it's one thing to be a creative person, but it's another thing to be a creative who solely, that is what they practice, that's how they live.
But I think that's where skills and talents comes in, because if you say we honor the many creative people whose skills and talents bring vitality to the lives of Webster Grove citizens every day, we honor the many creative
Skills
people
and
whose
strengths.
skills and talents.
Is it that, I think we're missing the word variety. Because that's.
We honor
what
the
Sarah listed.
variety,
We honor the variety of
many creative.
creativity or whatever.
This is so who use their skills and talents in a myriad of
Yeah, it
ways to
doesn't-
bring
it-
vitality.
It's robust, it just sounds, Like, I'm taking a creative writing class or something.
But that's part of it too, though.
It is part of it, and that's why I said
I don't wanna leave
practitioners
it out.
and learners. I mean, like,
I missed that part.
I'm just trying to, we're talking about people that live this versus just do it every once in a while.
So we
And we're
honor-
bringing
Not versus and.
But I think to be fair to that point, you're coming at it from a creative who values that. But Sarah's also talking about a whole set of people that don't think like that, right? Entrepreneurs that are all like, how do I make a buck? Right? I mean,
But
that's
they're
that kind of
But they're
creativity.
creative in how to-
Right. So then my point is your frame is coming at this from a world of art and design and creative thinking. And that expand, my vision of what Sarah had mentioned was much wider than that. People who don't think like
Right,
that.
but she's got that in there with the creative thinking phrase, which I don't know if that gone, is
Right,
that
but I'm-
gone?
No, it's there.
Okay, so creative thinking by anybody,
So when you say practitioners, that's pretty all encompassing, because a practitioner could be a business owner, it can be
right,
an artist, it can be
right.
whatever,
Or
dream team,
somebody, yeah,
somebody doing, achieving some kind of work. is a
or
practitioner.
somebody who's learning, a student, or
Right, and that's for
whatever.
the and learners.
Right.
So Pam, are
So-
you basically saying practitioners instead of people, the many creative practitioners who use their skills and talents?
Yes,
So
Yeah.
honor the
Or-
many creative
or you could say
practitioners and learners.
How about
Yes.
practitioners and people?
practitioners and
I
learners.
want to be careful not to make this come across as excluding some people that enter, because they're not creative.
This sounds like we just created a creativity statement for those that do creativity.
But that's the whole thing about, well,
We value it, but how do you make it sound so it's not exclusive?
we're not, because we're saying creative thinking in all its form.
So then why do we have to name the more specific?
Because I think with our heritage and as being the city of the arts, it's about. Again, I think it's about those people that do it every day. We're embracing the creative process, but we're also embracing the people that do it every day. I mean, why are we the city of the arts? Not because we dabble in it, it's because we live it.
Well, what Sarah suggests there, practitioners and learners is inclusive.
Yes,
Oh, I think this is too exclusive.
I think that we don't only value creative people who identify with the list, which we do, but we also value like creative solutions to solving complex problems, which
Right.
is the list. Like, I don't want to focus too much on the. Karen.
Why don't you mute, Karen?
No, don't put on your mute, that adds value to the conversation.
yeah, I think something like a line like creative practitioners and learners encompasses the list of people at the top.
We're not disagreeing with you.
Okay.
I don't think anybody's disagreeing with you.
Well, no, I don't
Well-
like practitioners and learners.
Wanted to just make it more generic, and what I think the point of having the list was to say that there are people.
Is there
that
another
live
word to
this
stick in,
every day.
David, to be more inclusive?
People.
See, I took this, just so you know, I took this value as creativity as intentional to not tie it to the city of the arts. And to not bind it into that view and that framework. And so approaching that value, I disregarded all that.
That's fine.
That thinking about creativity, for a lot of people, they're very analytical in their creativity, right? And so as a creative reading these words versus an analytical reading these words, I come to two wholly different like views of things. I'm not trying to argue with you.
No,
I'm
I
just
don't have
trying.
anything to say about that. I mean,
Yeah.
I think it's,
So we're looking at, we honor the many creative practitioners and learners. That's the phrase that we're talking about.
Right, but feeling like, some people are feeling like that's not as inclusive as it could be.
And by saying many creative practitioners are learners, are we trying to encompass the list from the first part?
we're trying to encompass the list and those who just have creative thoughts in solving problems.
Yeah, I think when we say we embrace creative thinking in all its forms, also honors the list.
Yeah.
We embrace creative thinking in all its forms.
Like I can get on board with practitioners and learners as long as we put foundation in that sentence before it. I don't think creativity is the sole thing of our history or our present and
So
future.
recognize
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
creativity. is
We
the
embrace
foundation.
I,
creative thinking.
I
in all
recognize
its
the
forms.
grammatical structure. I don't think people will get that.
Yeah, I like,
It's a political statement too.
Would you like to
Say it-
look at
say it
it?
we embrace creative thinking in all its forms and recognize that in creativity is our heritage, our present, and our future.
Hold it there till Eric gets that in. so we can
It's
see
a
it.
foundation, or I don't care if it's a different word, but.
Right, where do we put that day?
I think it should be recognized that in creativity, or we recognize that creativity is a foundation or is the foundation. I don't care how it's.
Of our
phrased,
heritage, our
but I
present, and our
don't think
future.
it should be the sole thing of our heritage, our present, and our future.
I feel like you're making it more that by saying it that. way.
Yeah, that is making it.
Explain to me again how the N works here.
We embrace creative thinking in all its forms
I just don't understand.
We recognize that
and recognize that in creativity. I think that after forms, we could say and recognize that in
Like, got
creativity.
lost in the- Which was like where you kind of broke out the heritage
Oh,
from past and
yeah.
present and future.
Okay.
Like-
Like, we recognize that creativity, that our heritage is rooted in creativity
Yes. Yes.
and in creativity.
I don't know what I put in there though, but I've got.
Right.
Can you
creativity by
So I don't-
Yeah.
present and future, maybe, I don't know.
Okay,
Now, wait, we've had a conversation down here.
Yeah,
That's an
so-
agreement. So what was the agreement on?
Oh, we recognize that creativity, that our heritage, we recognize that our heritage is rooted in creativity.
We want to say our heritage, present, and our future?
No, because we
No,
have
no.
a separate part for that.
We recognize that our heritage is rooted in creativity.
and that encompasses all kinds of creativity, right?
I got this in there so we can see it.
It's the.
He's working on it.
It's too fast for you.
Heritage is, I'm on keyboard, battery's gonna drive me up the wall.
Maybe
I'll
I'll
get
get
it
it.
into that.
I might have it on my bag.
I got triple A's and I don't have any downstairs, I don't.
What's on the dais in that little thing in front of you?
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
I just look and thinking, why are batteries there all the time?
Is that in the budget?
I have my computer and they're like,
Very.
Yeah. They already paid for it. What do you think? Is, recognize our heritage is rooted in creativity, is that where you guys are?
Yeah, and
I'll fix all
through,
that.
yeah, and through,
Or in creativity lies our present and our future or something like that, like. Or through, I don't know.
yeah,
It's fundamental too. No.
Laura had the winning idea of the day.
right, we,
We'll see if they're power. Yeah.
They're up there because they would know who this was.
Yeah.
No, not yet.
Like,
I actually really like their,
Oh, yeah.
like.
Yeah.
I just bang it.
I don't wanna have IT asking me Monday what happened in the. Except for that recording of Eric meeting to keep it against the.
Contain the thinking that happened, so.
He's got most of it in there. We haven't
Okay.
gotten the second part.
Yeah. So we recognize that our heritage is rooted in creativity and then we need something to tie creativity to our present and our future. And that's where we're
Guides,
struggling, like,
informs.
yeah.
And is a foundation of our present and future.
What, and is the foundation of our present and future?
Foundational too.
And is a cornerstone of our present and future.
Yeah.
Actually, you use cornerstone and still keep it all together then.
Keystone.
Is rooted in
That's an arch.
creativity, and you're saying.
That's the thing
and
that holds the
a
arch together.
cornerstone of our present and future. Is that what I'm hearing, or and the foundation of our present and future?
Sarah,
I
where
think
would you-
foundation.
I think it's fine. I think I want it to be a little more active, but I think it's okay. Like, I think,
What do you mean by active?
That creative is,
like, it's that.
Defines. Informs is sort of passive.
I would say either do foundation or cornerstone. Or, I guess you could say in. Influences our present
Oh,
and
and
future.
influence it?
guides.
Creates.
Do you want
I
me
think
to put
cornerstone
some-
is fine. Let's just do corner.
And is the cornerstone to our present and future? And our future.
Can you say the cornerstone? Because aren't there always more than one cornerstone
Yeah.
to whatever you put on?
Oh, you want off?
Yeah, I mean, I just think that that's the word you use.
Is it cornerstone of our present and our future?
Yeah.
And do you want 2 hours or only 1?
What did you mean by active though?
That it's like. It's okay.
There's a doing in there, right? It's
Yeah.
informing, it's nurturing, it's fostering.
Yeah.
Yeah, cornerstone is like
It's not just in the ground,
stake in the
like
ground, yeah.
Right, it's
influence.
it's an active thing that as we go forward in the day, it's there, right? What you're trying to say?
And I think here we honor the many creative practitioners and learners who use their skills and talents probably to bring vitality
Yeah.
Yeah,
to the lives of Webster Groves residents every day.
Yeah. Yeah, what's the girls' values, creativity?
So let's-
creative thinking and all this.
Sarah, why don't you read what we have up there?
Webster Groves values creativity. We embrace creative thinking in all its forms, viewing and solving complex problems with imagination and innovation, fostering cultural dialogue, promoting physical and emotional well-being. We recognize that our heritage is rooted in creativity and is a cornerstone. No, creativity is a cornerstone of our
And it
present
is, yeah.
and future. We honor the many creative practitioners and learners who use their skills and talents to bring vitality to the lives of Webster Groves residents every day.
So the way we have it structured there, it looks like heritage is the cornerstone of the present.
Yeah,
and
no,
future.
I think it could be back there. I think it's. I want to keep saying creativity instead of it, because I think
Yeah, so
we're
we have,
trying to make,
we recognize that our heritage is rooted in creativity and that creativity is a cornerstone.
Which is,
I think
Which
it's
is, we can do
that.
witches,
You
or
Period, need a comma there. Yeah.
you want to go witches, or do you want to say that, and that
No,
creativity?
we need to restate creativity, I think is what we're saying, so,
yeah,
and that creativity is.
You don't need that.
Oh,
So
and
let's leave what people
creativity
see.
is,
Yeah.
yeah, okay.
The word that.
can we find other words? Can we put design thinking instead of creative thinking? I'm just trying to,
I don't
Fine.
think that most people know what design thinking is.
well, there's a lot of creative work, creative is in here,
Take out
we're
that.
defining our
Yeah.
creative,
no.
we're defining creativity with
I think we want
creativity.
that in there on that part.
Did you hear what I said?
Yes,
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're using the word creativity to define creativity.
Correct.
What does that do to it? Well, it doesn't matter. It's legally, so to speak.
Yeah.
Webster Groves values creativity. We embrace creative thinking in all its forms, viewing and solving complex problems with imagination and innovation, fostering cultural dialogue, promoting physical and emotional well-being. We recognize that our heritage is rooted in creativity, and creativity is a cornerstone of our present and future.
Mhm.
Honor the many creative practitioners and learners who use their skills and talents to bring vitality to the lives of Webster Groves residents every day.
Yeah.
so one.
We're only
thing-
honoring, just so we're clear, no one else we're honoring anywhere else in this, in any of these values, but for some reason, we're honoring these specific citizens.
We did.
we're
I think we have
valuing
value.
people,
Yeah, we value
yeah,
people.
so maybe honor's not the great word.
We could put value.
You know, we value the many
Our
creative.
value statements.
Can we appreciate or, I don't know.
That's consistent because it's in the value.
So one of the things that struck me when Emerson just read it again is when we start this off, we start off with creative thinking. Which I do agree with, but I do agree that we want to include creative thinking, but is that what we want our first? Thing to be, or do we want to because when the original statement, we start off with. Like, not just the arts, but like the people. Art. Event planners, just that, like, I don't know if we want to put thinking first. I think it's what-
So creative thinking is what makes them innovative is, I mean, the creative thought, isn't that right? The ability to think creatively is what allows them to do the many different things that they do. It's creative thought is the first part of any action
Okay.
that's manifest itself.
I hear what you're saying, Emily, and I'm just wondering if the second sentence should be Webster Groves values creativity. We recognize that our heritage is rooted in creativity, and creativity is a cornerstone of our present and future. We embrace creating thinking in all its forms,
Mhm.
viewing and solving, blah, 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 blah. And we honor or value the many creative practitioners. We just moved that third
Yeah.
sentence up.
Yeah.
I think that
We
makes sense.
recognize that
So
heritage.
that the first thing isn't creative thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, what about, I'm just looking for words here. For,
Oh, Lordy almighty, what you.
Yeah.
I just wanna,
Good one.
I'm just saying, we're spending a lot of time on this definition, creativity. And
Oh,
maybe because we're so good at diversity, equity, and inclusion, and it just seems like priorities here, guys.
David password.
So David's done with them.
Yeah, I think creativity is like, you know, what the Supreme Court said about porn, you know it when you see it. I don't think that we need to go into too much more.
What about that word honor somebody mentioned?
I think value.
Honor for value instead.
Okay, David.
All right.
Since we're using our definition.
All right. Are we in a good spot?
Are you good to know?
Yeah, we,
Webster Groves values creativity. We recognize that our heritage is rooted in creativity, and creativity is a cornerstone of our present and future. We embrace creative thinking in all its forms, viewing and solving complex problems with imagination and innovation, fostering cultural dialogue, promoting physical and emotional well-being. We value the many creative practitioners and learners who use their skills and talents to bring vitality to the lives of Webster Groves residents every day.
I had one edit possibly. And that would just be we embrace. I guess I was thinking of new ways, new, instead of creative, inserting
So-
something new, like. But maybe creative thinking is
I
important.
have
so
the
leave that in.
definition that might, so resulting from originality of thought and expression. So could we,
Yes.
we embrace originality in thought and expression in
Yes.
all its forms? That gets rid of,
we embrace originality.
Yeah,
I don't know,
I
I
like
was
it.
just looking at it.
That's good.
What was the other? Originality, what?
Thought and expression.
Originality in thought. Right, originality of thought and expression, is that what you said, or?
I think that's what I said.
Okay,
Of thought
I
or?
don't really know what I said
Okay.
anymore.
in all its
There are
forms.
resources at our disposal.
There.
Sarah, what do you think?
I don't want us to get stuck on this, so it's fine.
Are you like a three?
It's
You
okay.
I'm about a
You
three.
take ownership
You're
of
about a
it.
3.
Is there a way to break that sentence up? Because that seems like just a huge run on.
which sentence is that, Karen?
We embrace originality of thought and expression in all its forms, viewing and solving complex problems with imagination and innovation, fostering cultural dialogue, promoting physical and emotional well-being.
We almost need an and
And
before
promoting.
promoting.
Something.
And promoting physical and emotional.
Yeah.
well-being.
Could we?
And I think they all need to
It's
stay
okay.
in there, all those clauses.
I think it's okay, that one.
I think we're good,
It's
and
creative.
we let the subcommittee, they wanna continue to wordsmith this afternoon, we'll be good with that?
Oh, yeah.
So this right here, creativity, does that have to be capitalized?
I wouldn't think so.
You had.
I mean, it was more about like, how are we gonna do them all? Like, I don't hate the idea of kind of like pulling them all out like that, but I
Okay.
mean, it's fine. That was.
All right, so where are we on this now? 5, 3, just
I'm
3,
I think it can go.
It's fine.
I think that second sentence is still cumbersome to me, but that,
correct.
work that out later.
Woo. Can you save this, please? The
Yes.
strat value somewhere or here, yeah. And then pull the other back up. We have about 14 more minutes. And I think we can get to a spot where the subcommittee can continue work if we really focus for the next 14 minutes. First, are we okay with doing a community survey? And here is. But could look like. David, you want to pass down?
Karen, you can see that PowerPoint slide, right?
Yes.
Okay. You're welcome. And you should have got an email with this in it, so. Basically, you're asking, do they agree with the values, and we'll add the definition, so they know what you mean by it. Kind of a yes or no, and then a space probably for comments. And then we'll list the proposed mission statement that you worked on today. Rate, level of support. What do you like? What do you suggest to be changed? And almost exactly the same thing with your vision statement.
Oh, so like in the reverse order of how we kind of developed them. Right, so
We could change the order, that's fine. We could do vision first, mission, yeah.
It works well because then you get to the end and you've already been through all the rest of it.
yeah, I think.
So go mission, vision, values.
I think that we have it, right?
Vision, mission,
Val-
value.
You like values first.
I think that I was just making a comment that it's in the reverse order. I think that kind of works.
It does kind of, I think.
I thought that was intentional, so I'm not proposing.
It was, but I'm okay with change it too.
So
David, you got a few like word comments or whatever?
I would like to separate this between employees and citizens. I think employees are different. I'd like to hear their feedback individually.
That's why it's,
It says city employee at the top.
We would be able to segregate those out.
Yeah.
No, I understand, but there's different questions. I think we're gonna ask employees than we are going to ask residents in my mind.
No,
It should be the same.
it should be the same.
Why?
Yeah, why?
They are two different, they're two different,
What's the different question you'd like to ask?
like
Maybe
for
we'll
instance,
understand.
employee. Like, do they know how to care? Is this sufficient information in order to carry out what the goals of council are? What more direction do you need? I think that we need more narrative from our employees, that where the citizens, they can add their input in other ways. Employees are limited, and also they are gonna be a little bit more hesitant to provide that information if either to Eric or Marie for other reasons as any other employee, but if they have a anonymous survey, I think they're gonna be a little bit more open.
Well, could we have some smart logic? So if they pick city employee, like they get a couple of different boxes where they can.
I don't know that we want to ask them, we don't expect this to be comprehensive. Like, we're not saying like, we think we're done here.
No, I think there'll be another survey at a different point. in
So
time.
I don't think
Because you got
say that
goals
you
and
have
stuff.
enough to do to carry out the goals, because I think they would all be like, yeah, no.
So from a staff perspective, just to add, I know Marie had thought and had mentioned, I think at some point we'll probably have the directors in with you all in conversation, but that there would be some other ways of engaging in staff on as these become more, especially the goals, which are really going to be the tactical pieces.
That's where they gotta do the work.
Right.
No, and I appreciate that, but as a taxpaying citizen, not even a member of council, they work for me. And so they are not equal necessarily to me when it comes to how my democracy is gonna be functioning. While they're extremely important, they're a different category. And they should be treated as such when we develop or implement their priorities or their way of doing something.
But I think that's why we would capture the information so that we can divide the data and look at it differently based on who the audience is that provided that feedback. I think having the question in here is all that's necessary personally, because I
Well,
think we
and
want to be
maybe
able to
They should be listed
parse the
first.
data.
are you worried that they're gonna say there's somebody else in survey?
No, again, as of right
Sorry, I
now,
was
no,
stepped
you're
out
good.
and I apologize.
As of right now, we have not mentioned taxpayers anywhere within anything. And we spent a lot of time on creativity today, but we didn't spend as much time on diversity, equity, and inclusion. Our priorities seem to be off right now.
We've already.
And this demonstrates our priorities are a little bit off. By putting, whether it's city employee first, but by putting them at the same level, resident and employee. The employees work for the residents.
So is there an alternative that we could send this to employees through the 365 system and just have them get it delivered in a different
We can create a
capacity?
list, yeah, so we can
And
create a
that way
split survey. and-
that way, they're not even on this particular.
I think the survey should be the same so that we have clear data
But the survey would be the same. It's just the
Right.
delivery system
I think that's a good-
ensures that.
So that
We
nobody,
have two, one that's for employees
right,
and one that's for
so there's
citizens
only
and taxpayers.
three on the list here, and they just get the same survey.
And maybe we don't need to know if
Different way.
they're on a commission or board or not.
I like knowing that if they're on a board or commission, it's a pick all too, so we do have some employees who live in Webster. And I would
Yeah.
want them to be able to choose both. They're a resident and an employee.
It should.
I think that would be good information to have. I'm fine having separate surveys, but I do think that leaving the same place somewhere on the list that people who are both could check is not a bad thing.
Well, I mean, how many are?
Well, if you send it
Yes,
through 65, the question just can be, do you live in Webster Groves?
Oh, that's. true.
Yeah, is there anything to keep them from being able to check more than one box?
No, we
No,
did,
we would want them to check more than one box if that's the case. If there's more than one
Right.
box.
But David, I feel like we're not talking really about what your fundamental concern is, and I'm not sure I
No,
totally
I-
understand it.
My fundamental concern as of right now is where, like, right, the way that it's phrased here. It seems that the input of both the employees and the residents is equal.
Okay, gotcha.
And I don't think it is. I don't think that we should view it as such. That's my opinion. I think obviously the opinions of the employees are extremely important, but then is our job to go to persuade the citizens, the taxpayers, the residents, why that view is important or why we're going that direction.
And so we could issue one survey just to employees
Right,
and one survey just to people that live here.
and I can see it's a different survey to the employees when we start talking about goals.
Later,
But
we're
not
not
even- the sole purpose of this is to get you to a point where at a city council meeting, you can adopt your mission, vision, and values. That, in my mind, you're getting feedback to say, yep, we got good support here, or we gotta rethink one of these. My hope would be you'll get to closure, and that's, the survey is only about that chunk of it. You still continue to work on your goals and tactics, your strategies and tactics. That might be a separate community engagement.
So
piece.
can we
I'm not
just,
sure.
can we leave this as there's a commitment here to collecting the data in a way that we can clearly differentiate between staff and other
That's what I'm
kinds of
hearing, yeah.
people? And I can't be just residents, because I think we do want business owners and other
Right.
people.
Mhm.
But I do understand yours is a weighting concern more
Right,
than it's a
yeah.
collection of information concern.
And the fact that people.
Well, in the
even
way that we
see it,
present to the
yeah,
community,
yeah.
right?
Right, yeah.
And if we have a list like this, that maybe employee is on top of the list, maybe like if the
Oh,
one that goes out to the residents had an employee on it, it wouldn't be the first.
No, just have a separate one for them.
I'm here, it's just two separate surveys.
Strike it.
Take it out.
The surveys could read exactly the same, just one only has a choice of employee and resident, that goes to the employees, because we'd like to know if they're both.
Yeah.
And the other one has the choices of city resident, business owner, member of community board, commission, et cetera, et cetera.
It'll be
And they can
interesting
check all
see,
three if they
because
want
there'll be
to.
different views. Yeah.
Yeah, you want to see the different views.
That works for me.
We really need that information before you actually get
Because
into
you
your
could-
goals.
You could actually do this, but I think politically what I'm hearing is the citizens need to see that this is all citizen business owner input. Even though if you do it all in one survey, you're gonna disaggregate and get a report on what did citizens say, what did employees say, what did business owners say, but if it politically makes more sense to do it completely separate, then we do it completely separate.
It might foster some value, just letting employees know, want to know what you think.
Right, yeah. All right, we're good with that? David, you okay if we make them two separates?
Yeah.
Okay, and we still I haven't ignored the taxpayers, where does that fit yet? Maybe that's something the subcommittee could look at this afternoon when you review the values one more time. The other thing I heard earlier this morning was important was the order of the values. So if we go back to here, what order, which one do you think should be first?
People.
Yeah, I agree with that. I say people, then excellence in service.
Mhm.
That's our main.
What about leadership?
I think that should come next.
People, service, leadership.
They all matter.
Oh, yeah.
But what's the most important? Like,
No, I agree.
yeah, like from a perception standpoint, again, I think that. I'm not sure how much it matters, the where they rank afterwards, but I think the first one is,
They should see by themselves.
yeah.
I put excellence in service.
So we went people.
Well, that's what I'm,
Not because it's not valued, but
Can we agree is people first?
Yes.
All right.
I think it's a really good definition too, that encapsulates so much of
Yeah.
what.
And I would wonder if people is real important, maybe that's your next.
I put leadership first, but that's their second.
yeah, I think leadership should be.
So people, then leadership.
Then I had diversity.
Diversity.
No, I still argue excellence of service is what we are defined to do as an organization. We're here because we're providing services to people.
We're a service.
Without the need for those services, we would not exist.
And that's
Now,
exactly how
again,
Steve.
yeah. I can be persuaded otherwise, maybe,
The people,
Excellent.
and I may lose. All one voice.
Are you saying excellence should be first?
No, I think it should be second, because we wouldn't exist, we wouldn't have services to provide without the people. So,
I think diversity and inclusion should be next.
Second or third.
Next, third.
I have people, service, D&I, creativity, sustainability, and leadership.
Okay, so you said sustainability should be after D&I.
I had creativity, sustainability, and then leadership. For what it's worth, like,
But in a way, excellence of service and sustainability go together.
because they're both resource oriented.
I also put sustainability and creativity together.
I don't know that there's a magic order.
Yeah.
The magic is in the first
In the
one.
first one.
yeah, I agree.
I
After
agree.
that, I don't know that it's worth it for us to argue about.
Should,
I
You can even go an ABC or.
Fine, I
ABC order.
withdraw all comments I
But-
made,
but-
and somebody put it in.
so this is the question I'll ask to the survey, should the part of the question be then to have the citizens put them in their order?
Now, how do you value that?
Well, yeah, but how do you see these in an order, right? I mean, because there are people who do believe in that order, right? Like,
We can ask a rank order.
Yeah.
Which is the most important to you, rank. them.
Yeah.
We can do a rank
I
order
think that's
question.
worth doing.
And regardless, it's always gonna come right, because it would be a.
They should rank them before they read the definitions.
I think that's good.
Yeah, it should be the second
Yeah.
part of the
Okay.
question. I agree. You first find out if they're supportive of it or not.
Okay.
And then, assuming these are the values, please rank order them.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's the most important, second important, third, 4, 5, 6?
Yeah.
Okay. 2 surveys. Rank order. All right, got it. Are we okay with this order, starting off with? All right, cool.
He is at the top.
That's right.
people, excellence and
It's
service,
good,
diversity and
it's good.
inclusion, creativity, sustainability, and leadership.
Absolutely.
So it's 12:30. Do you guys wanna? You've got this, I've got this handout for you, so let's pass this around. Or we can save it for next time. My main question for you really is. When you look at. These strategic goals. The subcommittee is recommending taking off effective communication. And the creativity one, promote art and beautification efforts. Right,
put 'em in
because we
value.
have it as a value. Okay. Are you good with keeping that this is important?
Yes.
When you want to go in that area, period? Yeah. Do we want to foster a strong business community? Do we want to go in that area?
Isn't that the same as financial security?
No, not necessarily, but
More of our.
it does help.
Most
They
of our-
mean more to us than their tax revenue.
It's a subset of it, sure.
We have cultivate housing stock. Are there any of these that you feel like we don't need them anymore? Or can
Is
the
it
subcommittee?
protect community?
I think it is protect.
Yeah, that seemed like a.
Not project.
Oh,
Yeah.
probably is protect, sorry,
It's okay.
typo.
from my perspective, I think there's all goals embedded there. I think the language changes dramatically though,
Yes.
from
That's fine.
the way it was. in
Yeah, but the
18,
subcommittee then could this afternoon
I
work
agree.
on some of the language centered around that. I don't want them to spend time working on financial security if nobody in this room thinks it should be a goal.
Yeah,
I like that list.
So how many goals do we have? Like, I mean,
Right
on-
now, you have 2, 4, you have 7.
so
If we drop these 2, you got 5,
we have 6
and you can
values.
add another one. You don't have to have a value for every goal, but I see where you're going.
So that's what so do the goals then fall under individual values or are they comprehensive?
Fall under vision.
They
The
may,
goal-
like, so for the housing one, to me, you know, housing is about financial security, it's about diversity, equity, inclusion. So I think the goals can refer to more than one of our values.
Is
Absolutely.
strategies synonymous with goals?
Yes,
For the
yeah.
Okay,
And are these
Some people
goals
Call them
that's fine.
strategic goals. There's,
short term or long term?
usually 3 years to 5 max.
This isn't mergers with 10 other communities quite yet.
Well, no, I'm just trying to think of like. What is the scope of the goals?
Right.
You know, like,
But so there could be a goal, like if we're gonna move, I'll just use IT. We're gonna move to a completely cloud-based environment, right? And then there's a series of yearly tactics that achieve that goal in 3 to 5 years, right? You know,
I think I
ensuring
know what you're
financial
talking about.
security. We want to explore a new revenue stream. So this year
There'll
we
be
explore it,
tactics
next
and
year,
maybe
you know,
one of those.
things like that.
I would throw out there, if there's a broad goal area, broad. Like broad is financial security, business community, assets infrastructure. Housing, diversity, equity, inclusion, that's the broad piece. Is there another broad area that you really feel like we need to talk about to move our community closer to our vision where all people and businesses thrive?
Grow our tax base.
That's financial security.
Yeah,
But I mean, it's
I
more active.
I would just based on what I've read in terms of like Marie's summary that she provided at some meeting. Recruiting and retaining high quality staff might be
Sure.
in there somewhere. It could be another goal area. A lot of organizations want to recruit and retain, you know, and you gotta do that through a variety of means. But just what I'm kind of reading from employees would probably place that at a high level, and I think many of you did. Maybe not with those words, but
The other one that's sort of missing here is this notion of not the value of sustainability, but we've just endorsed a sustainability plan. We're talking, money's there. I think walkable, bikeable falls under that, that's not really set there in a goal way that some of these other things that seem equally important are.
Add that as another.
So change,
Goal
protect
area.
community assets and infrastructure.
Or broaden it, maybe.
I don't know, I think it might be different.
well, we know we want to have it there, so the subcommittee could look at, do you change some of the verbiage up here? To reflect that, or is it a separate?
You talked a lot about land use too. Like,
Yeah, somewhere.
And maybe that falls under community assets and infrastructure too, when we're talking about like potential flooding buyouts, when we talk about, you know, potential development areas, like that kind of, like how we want to use the land in our boundaries. Is that under community assets and infrastructure?
Yeah,
Or does that
Could be,
need to be
it could
called
be.
out separately?
I would think it'd be under either that or sustainability.
I wasn't obviously here for the visual goals when they did these in 18 or 17, whatever it was, but the protecting, right, of community assets, it's a word that seems
Yeah,
to
I
say,
don't like
never
that
change it.
word.
And I was like,
yes.
community assets come and go, right? So how do we? you
That
know,
came, yeah. that
Like
came
being
from-
good stewards is different than protecting.
Correct.
Exactly,
Correct.
yes. I mean,
That
there's
was
some people that protecting means never change it,
Status
Yeah.
quo.
you know.
And our goal right now isn't to wordsmith, is to have broad categories.
Yeah.
Oh, these are
So the-
previous strategies from 2018, 2019.
Yes.
Yes.
I got it, okay.
Yes. But in terms of broad goal areas, I'm hearing for sure keep financial security, probably the business community. This one, the verbiage might change once we look at details. Housing, you still want something on housing?
Yeah.
And diversity, equity, inclusion. And make sure sustainability is in there somewhere, either a separate or a new component. What do you think about recruit and retain
Um,
high quality
That's
people?
DEI, isn't it?
Well, no, it's
Not really.
it's some institutional things, but I think there's also a future of work conversation from my perspective and
And I'm
Marie's.
okay with taking, it was
There's
my
that.
idea, so I can
What's
take it off.
next for city government and getting ready for that as well. I'm not saying employees will always have employees, but are we taking those next steps in other ways to be ready for what's?
Well, maybe we make it a little bit broader and talk about governance, right? Because I mean, obviously, to govern, we need high quality, good employees that we can afford. But we also need to make sure that, that we're doing the basics.
Right.
Like in this community is like, because that is the fundamental aspect of our job. We do bridges and streets and we do sidewalks, that is an important aspect of what we do, putting aside all this other stuff that we should be.
So maybe what you're talking about is really excellence in service. Picking up that it leads to a goal.
Yeah.
So your service is you've got great roads to drive on. You've got great people to implement those services. And so that could be a tactic underneath a broader piece of excellent service. Does that capture what you're saying, David?
Yeah.
All right. Feel like we're leaving on a downer. We accomplished a lot. I mean, I think you should feel really good that you have I think a strong mission to put out and get feedback on, strong vision to put out, and get feedback on. While it was a little frustrating doing the values, we knew it was gonna be that way. Because it's a lot of wordsmithy, but it's also a lot of talking about what's important. And I think you did a very good job having honest conversations with one another, being flexible and changing so that you could agree upon what's important in our community, what we value and what's gonna guide us.
I think that a lot.
And we've got some broad goals,
Yeah.
areas. We might need to add on some of those, but we've got time to do that.
A lot of information that it'll be clear. When Laura make the announcement, this is what we've been doing.
Right. Oh, I'm gonna make that enough. Well, somebody's got to, it's not gonna be me. All right. Done for the day for most of you, right?
For three of you.
12:40. So,
Bye, Karen. Hope you feel better.
hi Karen, nice job.
Thank you for joining us.
All right, there we go. That's the first one.
Sarah, I know you.